Chapter 271. I'll bring Chairman Park the expert meow. Tower 43rd floor. KQYK. Dozens of wild boars, engulfed in flames, were chasing after a human. The burning wild boar was once the boss of the 53rd floor of the tower. However, everything changed due to the commotion of the black minotaurs moving down the tower in search of Sejun, who had been moved because of the 77th floor's land deed document. Scared by the descent of the black minotaurs, the monsters of the upper floors also moved to lower floors, pushing the burning wild boars down to the lower floors. Thus, the burning wild boars settled on the 43rd floor after moving down 10 floors. And, Master, where are you? The human being chased by the burning wild boars was Kim Dong-sik, who was undergoing special training with Han Tae-jun. Master, Kim Dong-sik desperately called for Han Tae-jun, having brought the burning wild boars to the agreed location, but Han Tae-jun was nowhere to be seen. Da-da-da-da. In the meantime, the burning wild boars rapidly closed the distance with Kim Dong-sik. And, whoosh! A fireball the size of a head brushed past Kim Dong-sik. Quang! The fireball that brushed past Kim Dong-sik exploded upon hitting a rock, creating a huge explosion. Master, where are you? Startled, Kim Dong-sik called out for Han Tae-jun once more when Dong-sik dodge magic missile. Quagwagwang! Hundreds of magic missiles began to carpet bomb the spot where Kim Dong-sik had just been. After the magic missile bombardment, KQYK, half of the burning wild boars were dead, and the rest were either with broken legs or parts of their bodies blown off, rendering them incapable of combat. Dong-sik finished them off. Huff huff, Master, can I take a break? I think I'm going to die. Exhausted, Kim Dong-sik lay sprawled on the ground, gasping for air. But, really, if you want to rest comfortably, just rest forever. Ah no, die you pigs. Prompted by Han Tae-jun's words, Kim Dong-sik quickly got up and started to slay the burning wild boars with his sword. After dealing with the burning wild boars, Dong-sik, you've rested enough, now go back. What, when did I rest? Although he had recovered some stamina by leveling up and defeating monsters, it was far from complete. Moreover, there was the mental fatigue. However, you just rested. To his master, this was considered a break. Yes. Knowing that arguing would only lead to more trouble, Kim Dong-sik resignedly began to run again to lure the monsters. 99th floor of the tower. Gugagung. Him. Sejun was moving to the eastern region of the forest where the poisonous queen bee resided, riding on Toryong. Hehe, I wonder what she wants to give me. Sejun said excitedly. 30 minutes ago. Weeing. Sejun Nim, hello. The poisonous queen bee says she has something to give you and asks you to come by. A honeybee flew to Sejun, who was working in the field after lunch, delivering the poisonous queen bee's message. Really? Sejun immediately rode on Toryong and started moving. Toryong, let's go faster. Yes, master. Urging Toryong, Sejun soon arrived in front of a giant mountain where the poisonous queen bee's hive was located. Wait here. Yes. Sejun left Toryong waiting and Sarung. So many have ripened. Seeing the well-ripened crops, he took out the sickle of freshness. And, Sergey, you have harvested 6 magical cherry tomatoes. Your job experience slightly increases. Your proficiency in harvesting LV7 has slightly increased. Due to the cold energy imbued in the sickle of freshness, the expiration date of the harvested crops has increased by 5 days. You have gained 420 experience points. While harvesting the crops, Sejun moved towards the poisonous queen bee's beehive. While he was harvesting the various crops planted in front of the poisonous queen bee's beehive. This one looks a bit different. Sejun discovered a small, bright red Xinjiang chili pepper. What's this? Sergey. Sejun harvested the Xinjiang chili pepper, puzzled. You have harvested the Xinjiang chili pepper of agony. Your job experience has increased slightly. Your proficiency in harvesting LV7 has increased slightly. Due to the cold energy imbued in the sickle of freshness, the expiration date of the harvested crops has increased by 5 days. You have gained 70 experience points. Messages appeared with the name of the Xinjiang chili pepper that Sejun saw for the first time. Xinjiang chili pepper of agony. Just by the name, it was something Sejun definitely didn't want to eat. You have achieved the feat of creating a new variety in the tower. The tower recognizes your exclusive right to cultivate the Xinjiang chili pepper of agony. Without your permission, no one can cultivate the Xinjiang chili pepper of agony. Your job experience has increased significantly. As a job trait, all stats increase by 10. Still, it was good news that it was a new variety. To complete the third trial of the 10th tower, 5 more new varieties are needed. Thanks to that, the number of new varieties needed for the third trial decreased from 6 to 5. Let's see. Sejun examined the Xinjiang chili pepper of agony. Xinjiang chili pepper of agony. A Xinjiang chili pepper grown in the tower, fully nourished but strangely transformed its flavor into an extremely spicy taste that brings pain to the body. Cultivated by an agricultural expert, its taste and efficiency are enhanced. Consumption causes unbearable pain on the tongue and damages vitality. Eating too much will weaken the effect. The effect returns to normal after a certain time. Cultivator, Tower Farmer Park Sejun. Shelf life, 155 days. Grade A. This is for torture. Sejun thought he must never eat it by mistake, and carefully placed the Xinjiang chili pepper of agony into the void storage. And, Cirque. Continuing to harvest the crops, Sejun arrived at the entrance to the poisonous queen bee's beehive when Weeing. Sejun Nim, welcome. I will guide you to the poisonous queen bee. A honeybee that was waiting for Sejun guided him to the poisonous queen bee. Flap. Pio. I'll come too. Following Theo on King Louis's back, Piat energetically flapped its wings. However, the distance between Louis and Piat only grew. Piat's small and fragile wings couldn't keep up with Louis's much larger and stronger wings. Pio. Theonym. As Piat looked forlornly at the diminishing figure of Theo. Pio. Suddenly, Theo's figure began to grow larger. Piat, hurry up and get on, meow. After telling Louis to turn around, Theo stretched out his front paw towards Piat. Pio. Yes. Delighted that Theo was looking out for him, Piat happily. Flap. Flapped its wings powerfully and landed on Theo's right front paw. Shortly after, here we are. In just 10 minutes, Louis traveled tens of kilometers to arrive in front of a giant tree over 100 meters tall and about 50 meters wide. The tree was huge but lifeless, with only bare branches remaining, the mother tree. Dozens of egg fruits hanging from its frail branches seemed to indicate that the mother tree didn't have much time left. Louis, don't forget the promise, meow. Yes, I will give you anything if you just heal the mother tree. Hut, all right, meow. After discussing the rewards for healing the mother tree during their journey, Theo once again confirmed the promise with Louis and confidently stepped forward. And, thump. Using his front paws, Theo pressed on the mother tree and used his healing power. Thump. Theo diligently massaged the mother tree. Pio. In the meantime, Piat diligently picked the egg fruits that had grown on the mother tree and placed them in a bag. 1 hour later. Pop. A small leaf sprouted on the branch of the mother tree, which had received Theo's healing power. This is unbelievable. Louis, who was about to suggest leaving, was astonished to see the green leaf on the branch. Honestly, Louis hadn't expected much from Theo, who was brought by Piat. Many messenger birds had brought individuals claiming they could heal the mother tree, but none had made any progress. Moreover, Piat was still a naive chick. Though it was sent out by the tree's priestess as a messenger bird out of necessity, Louis thought it would be fortunate enough if Piat returned unharmed. When Piat not only remembered its mission to find a being that could heal the mother tree, but also safely returned with someone. How commendable! Louis personally took action to transport Theo, brought by Piat, to the mother tree, admiring Piat's diligence. The intention behind leaving Piat behind was to spare it from potential disappointment. But then, Yatra, you've done a great job. Pirorong. Louis looked proudly at Piat, who was nodding off on Theo's bag while they were talking. Then, meow, I can't do it anymore, meow. Theo collapsed on the ground, exhausted from pouring an immense amount of magic power into the mother tree for an hour. Theonim, are you all right? If there's anything you need, please let me know. I'll prepare everything you wish for so that you can recover quickly. After healing the mother tree, Theo's treatment was suddenly elevated to that of a VIP in the kingdom of Kav. However, Piat, wake up, meow, let's go, meow. Pio? Yes. Theo, preparing to leave with Piat, didn't have Sejun there. Chairman Park's lap is needed. Theo planned to return to the 99th floor of the tower to rest in Sejun's lap. What? Where are you going? Louis asked urgently upon hearing Theo's words. They had just found the being capable of healing the mother tree. Hut, Louis, don't worry, meow. This isn't my area of expertise, meow. I'll bring Chairman Park, the expert, meow. Theo told Louis he would bring Sejun, realizing that healing the mother tree was something Sejun was better suited for than himself. Oh, there's someone even more specialized than Theonim. Hut, yes, meow. So give me the land deed document of the 79th floor, meow. The land deed document of here. Yes, meow. That's necessary for Chairman Park to come here, meow. Well, it's not difficult to give it to you, but that area is the territory of mantises. Louis spoke hesitantly. Mantises, resembling praying mantises, occasionally invaded the kingdom of Kav in large numbers to prey on birds. In the past, they conducted annual mantises hunts to decrease their numbers, but recently, the birth rate of birds decreased, reducing the number of soldiers available for the hunts. The last mantises hunt was 5 years ago. Over those 5 years, the mantises increased their numbers and expanded their territory, making the land of the deed documents farm fall within their domain. Hut, that's a good thing, meow. Give me the land document, meow. Theo, excited at the thought of leveling up Sejun, stretched out his paw to request the land deed document from Louis. If you insist, here it is. Please make sure to bring Chairman Park, the expert. Get on. Piat, you too. Understood, meow. Pio? Yes. Louis carried Theo and Piat on his back, dropping them off in front of the merchant's passage. I need Chairman Park's lap recharge, meow. Theo quickly headed towards the 99th floor of the tower. And Sneaka. Struggling to keep up with Theo's pace, Piat carefully sat on Theo's bag, comfortably making its way to the 99th floor. Hut, how nice. A small badge indicating Piat's status as a diplomat of the Kingdom of Kav was pinned to Piat's chest. Chapter 272. Something feels ominous. Weeing. Welcome, Sejunim. Following the guide of the poisonous queen bee, Sejun arrived at the room of the poisonous queen bee. The poisonous queen bee welcomed Sejun. Good to see you, but what do you have for me? Weeing. Just a moment. In response to Sejun's question, the poisonous queen bee took out a golden honey jelly from a small hole in the wall and plop, placed it on Sejun's palm. It was a royal jelly of a different color from the last time. Skill-enhancing golden royal jelly. Not only was the color different, but the name was different as well. Skill-enhancing golden royal jelly. Sejun examined the skill-enhancing golden royal jelly closely. Skill-enhancing golden royal jelly. Made from various types of honey jelly, refined through a secret method passed down through generations by the poisonous queen bee. sweet as it is made of honey. Consuming it increases one of the 4 stats by 30. Consumption greatly increases the proficiency of one of the acquired skills. Shelf life 100 years. Grade A+. Oh, this is good. While Sejun was examining the skill-enhancing golden royal jelly. Plop plop. The poisonous queen bee kept taking out more honey jellies and placing them on Sejun's palm. There was more than 1 honey jelly. Thanks to that, a total of 10 golden honey jellies were stacked on Sejun's palm. And then, I should eat only 5 of these now. Sejun decided to hog 5 out of the 10 jellies all to himself when no one was around. I'll use this to slightly close the gap with the others. Having such thoughts, Sejun strategized on how to consume the skill-enhancing golden royal jelly. However, I'll pretend I didn't eat the other 5 and give 1 to myself, 1 to Theo, 1 to Kyungi, 1 to the golden bat. There was a flaw in his plan. Golden bat. Sejun, feeling a bit anxious, hurriedly reached behind his back calling for the golden bat. The golden bat often went unnoticed even when clinging to his back. Fortunately, he didn't feel anything on his back nor heard a response from the golden bat. It seemed likely that it had followed Kyungi to the western forest. Phew! Relieved, Sejun breathed out and then consumed the skill-enhancing golden royal jelly. You have consumed a skill-enhancing golden royal jelly. Your magic power has increased by 30. Your proficiency of Farmer's Warm Touch LV 4 has greatly increased. Your proficiency of Farmer's Warm Touch LV 4 has been filled and the level has increased. The first skill-enhancing golden royal jelly increased his magic power by 30 and raised the skill proficiency of Farmer's Warm Touch, leveling up the skill. You have consumed the skill-enhancing golden royal jelly. Your magic power has increased by 30. Your proficiency of Farmer's Warm Touch LV 5 has greatly increased. The second skill-enhancing golden royal jelly consumed also increased his magic power and the skill proficiency of Farmer's Warm Touch. Surely both the stat and the skill were random, but somehow the same stat and skill were raised both times. Well, it can happen twice. You have consumed the skill-enhancing golden royal jelly. Your magic power has increased by 30. Your proficiency of Farmer's Warm Touch LV 5 has greatly increased. Once again, both his magic power and the proficiency of Farmer's Warm Touch were increased. Sejun felt as if he was under some sort of spell. And then, to think until the last one. The probability of both the magic power among the 4 stats and the Farmer's Warm Touch among the 16 skills being raised simultaneously was 1 in 64. The chance of this happening 5 consecutive times was roughly 1 in 1.1 billion. Sejun managed to beat those incredibly slim odds, raising the proficiency of the Farmer's Warm Touch skill and his magic power 5 times in a row. Thanks to this, Sejun's magic power increased by 150, and the level of Farmer's Warm Touch skill went up by 3 levels, reaching level 7. Something feels ominous. Sejun felt as if this incredible coincidence was the world's malevolent intent trying to exploit him by only increasing specific stats and skills. That can't be it. Why would it be me? Thinking it was too far-fetched, Sejun pushed aside his unease and said, I'll be going now. Weeing. Yes, take care. After saying goodbye to the poisonous queen bee, he returned to the farm. Purple Tower, 89th floor. Oh, this is the Purple Tower too. Crackle, crackle. Flamey had rooted itself in a new floor of the Purple Tower. Croak, croak. The area was full of poison frogs, ranging from 3 to 5 meters in size and in various vibrant colors, but I'll work hard for my master and secure the land deed. Crackle, crackle. Flamey started spreading its roots without care. Gulp, gulp. The poison frogs, seeing Flamey's moving roots, rushed to put them in their mouths, instinctively perceiving anything that moves as prey. However, Flamey's massive roots were not of a size they could eat, and Krog. The poison frogs died impaled on Flamey's roots. There was no need to use magic to burn them. They would simply become nutrients for the roots. If only I could give this experience to my master. While Flamey was regretful, it couldn't give the experience points from killing the poison frogs to Sejun. Crackle, crackle. Flamey's roots continued to extend, luring the poison frogs, who then died trying to swallow the roots. During this relentless growth, I found it. Flamey discovered the farm on the 89th floor of the tower. Hello everyone, I'm Flamey. As Flamey greeted the plants on the farm, Flamey, please help us. The farm's plants, suffering from the surrounding poison, asked Flamey for help. Got it, just hold on, yop. Crackle, crackle. Flamey wrapped its roots around the farm, blocking the poison from entering, and used its first leaf's ability, the flame of purification, to purify the land of the farm. Thank you, Flamey. The plants expressed their gratitude to Flamey. And then, plop. Once again, the land deed for the 89th floor of the tower fell in front of Flamey. Great, this makes 3 purple tower land deeds I've acquired. Flamey protected the farm's plants and continued to spread its roots. Then, what is this plant? Veronica, the tower farmer of the Purple Tower, who was looking for plants that could grow in poison-filled land, discovered Flamey. Seeing how big it's grown, it seems like a tree that thrives here too. But where are its seeds? Maybe I should cut a root and try planting it. Swoosh! When Veronica, fearless, drew a dagger to cut Flamey's root. How dare you try to touch my body? My body belongs to my master. Rumble, rumble. Angered, Flamey moved its massive roots to surround Veronica. Please spare me. Overwhelmed by Flamey's giant roots, Veronica barely managed to speak. All right, I'll spare you, but in return work on the farm. What? To think she, who could be considered the top person in the Purple Tower aside from the dragons, was being asked to work. But, come and work. Yes. She couldn't defy Flamey, who seemed ready to crush her with its roots at any moment. And then, how can you prune like that? Our master is incredibly good at it. Why are you so bad, Veronica? I'm sorry. Veronica had to endure a mix of bragging about Sejun and half-scolding from Flamey. That's how Veronica, the tower farmer of the Purple Tower, began to learn farming from Flamey. Rumble. I'm a bit hungry. On the way back to the farm, riding on Toryang. Numb. Feeling a bit peckish, Sejun ate the meat given by Aileen. You have consumed a piece of Aileen's healthier meatball. You must eat all the pieces to gain the full effect. 499 pieces remaining. As he was filling his stomach. Dada. Krung. Where did you go, Dad? Kyungi, who had returned from gathering herbs and not finding Sejun at the farm, quickly ran towards him, following his scent from afar. Toryang, go underground for a bit. Yes. As Toryang went into the ground. Slap. Just then, Kyungi arrived and clung to Sejun's leg. Krung. Kyungi was worried about Dad. Sorry, I went to see the poisonous bees for a bit. Pad pad. Numb. While Sejun was patting Kyungi, who clung to his leg with his left hand, he fed a skill-enhancing golden royal jelly into Kyungi's mouth with his right hand. Krung krung. What is this? It's incredibly delicious. Kyungi, having eaten something sweet, quickly became happy. After eating the skill-enhancing golden royal jelly, Kyungi's strength increased by 30, and one of its skills increased in proficiency, leading to a skill level up. The name of the leveled-up skill was Intimidation. Grrr. Krung. Kyungi quickly focused and stopped using the skill. Can't use it here. Dad will die. Thanks to Kyungi's quick action, Sejun's life was saved, and let's give some to the golden bat as well. Unaware he had just narrowly escaped death again, Sejun called for the golden bat and gave it a skill-enhancing golden royal jelly. Num. Pip pip delicious. The golden bat, emerging from Kyungi's back, happily ate the skill-enhancing golden royal jelly. And then, swoosh, the golden bat disappeared right before Sejun's eyes. The proficiency of the golden bat's camouflage skill increased, leveling up, and now it was able to camouflage even in thin air. Just as Sejun was about to move back to the farm after feeding Kyungi and the golden bat, each a skill-enhancing golden royal jelly. What's this? Feeling something approaching, Sejun quickly covered his face with his hands to prevent fur from entering his mouth. Plop! At the same time, a yellow furball rushed towards Sejun's face. Chairman Park, I'm back, meow. It was Theo. Flap flap. Pio pio. Hello, Piat is here too. Piat was frantically flying around Theo, announcing its arrival. Oh, I forgot about Piat. This realization made Sejun aware that he was one skill-enhancing golden royal jelly short. Sejun's plan was to consume the remaining 5 skill-enhancing golden royal jelly himself and give them to Theo, Kyungi, the golden bat, Iona, and himself. He hadn't considered the new member, Piat. Can't be helped. Sejun decided to give his share of the skill-enhancing golden royal jelly to Piat. Vice Chairman Theo, did you have a good trip? Sejun covered his mouth with his right hand and grabbed Theo's scruff with his left hand, detaching him from his face before asking. Yes. Num. As Theo answered, Sejun quickly stuffed a skill-enhancing golden royal jelly into his mouth. Since Theo wouldn't eat anything other than fish or churu, this kind of surprise feeding was necessary. Meow, meow, Chairman Park, what's this, meow? As expected, Theo started to get annoyed the moment something other than fish or churu entered his mouth. Meanwhile, the skill-enhancing golden royal jelly quickly melted and disappeared in Theo's mouth. Chairman Park, that's too much, meow. How could you give me something other than fish and churu? Snap. Sejun brought the grumbling Theo onto his lap. Meow. Theo quieted down while being cradled on Sejun's knees. Now there's only one left, Sejun said, looking at Piat. Pio? And so, Sejun also fed Piat the skill-enhancing golden royal jelly. However, Theo and Piat only experienced increases in stats and skill proficiency, without any significant changes. Theo, give the last remaining one to Iona. Got it, meow. As Sejun handed the last skill-enhancing golden royal jelly to Theo, and was about to head towards the farm. Boom! Kyungi looked at Sejun with suspicious eyes. Dad wouldn't just not eat any himself. Given Sejun's actions so far, it was a perfectly reasonable suspicion. Sniff, sniff. Kyungi climbed up Sejun's body and began to sniff around his mouth. Why, Kyungi? Sejun remained calm in the face of Kyungi's actions. Hehe, knowing this would happen, I've already rinsed my mouth clean. Sejun had already eliminated any evidence. However, Krung Krung. Dad's magic power has increased significantly in just a few hours. Very, very suspicious. While the smell could be hidden, the changes in the body could not. Detective Cunnan has once again apprehended a habitual sneak eater today. Chapter 273, Ajax is the problem. Inside the kitchen, on the 99th floor of the tower. Kyungi was looking at Sejun, who was cooking with sparkling eyes and a bright smile. And Sejun, under Kyungi's intense gaze, was diligently making honey bixialgi, TL, honey rice cake. A little earlier. Krung Krung. Dad ate 5 delicious things alone. Kyungi knows everything. Food Detective Cunnan accurately deduced the number of skill-enhancing, golden royal jellies Sejun had eaten with his incredible deductive skills. Krung. Kyungi feels left out. Seeing Kyungi taking out an enhanced branch of a corrupted ant from his snack pouch. Kyungi, I'm sorry. Instead, I'll make you honey bixialgi. Krung. That sounds good. Sejun had peacefully settled the matter with Kyungi by offering to make Kyungi's favorite food, honey bixialgi. Clicking. Thus, Sejun put a huge steamer over a pot emitting steam to steam the honey bixialgi. You have harvested 9 magical cherry tomatoes. Your job experience points have slightly increased. Your proficiency of harvesting LV7 has slightly increased. Due to the cold energy imbued in the sickle of freshness, the expiration date of the harvested crops has increased by 5 days. You have gained 540 experience points and went to the cherry tomato farm to start harvesting cherry tomatoes, intending to make cherry tomato juice to go with the honey bixialgi. While Sejun was harvesting the cherry tomatoes, the temporary storage of the White Tower has been filled with 5,000 elixir, cherry tomato imbued with powerful magic power. The White Tower's temporary storage is full. Since the temporary storage can no longer hold crops, the harvesting ordered to Ajax Maimb, the tower farmer of the White Tower, has been terminated. Nearly 2 months had passed since the last message that the White Tower's temporary storage capacity was full appeared. When the magical cherry tomatoes were first planted, the concentration was high due to the magic power continuously emitted by Ajax on the 99th floor of the tower. However, as the cherry tomatoes absorbed the magic, the concentration of magic power on the 99th floor of the White Tower gradually decreased. This caused the growth speed of the cherry tomatoes to slow down, and now it almost took 2 months to harvest 5,000 elixir cherry tomatoes. The growth speed has slowed down too much. The core of the problem was Ajax. If Ajax was just slacking off, it would be easy to scold him to increase the harvesting speed, but Ajax has been diligently working recently. This was a problem that could only be solved if the amount of magic power Ajax emitted increased. What should I do? As Sejun pondered, the rank of the tower farmer has increased, allowing you to expand the temporary storage size to twice its size for 500 million tower coins. Would you like to expand? Additional messages appeared asking if he wanted to expand the temporary storage. The maximum transport capacity between towers was 100 kg. Until now, Sejun had been transporting up to 50 kg through inter-tower transport due to the small size of the temporary storage. If the size of the temporary storage doubles, it means that he could use the maximum transport capacity of 100 kg between towers. However, I won't do it. Sejun decided not to expand the temporary storage. It wasn't because he didn't have the money. After purchasing the power, abundance, he had about 1 billion tower coins left, so money was not an issue. It was simply unnecessary. Even if the temporary storage size doubled, the slow growth rate of the cherry tomatoes made it meaningless. It already takes 2 months to harvest 5,000 cherry tomatoes. Filling the double-sized temporary storage would take twice as long. That means I'd have to wait more than 4 months. That was too long. Since the cherry tomatoes for Aileen would run out before then, whether the temporary storage was full or not, he would have to use inter-tower transport soon anyway. Ajax is the problem. Ultimately, the problem was Ajax's weak magic power. If Ajax knew he was being treated this way by Sejun, he might have stormed into the Black Tower again. Of course, he would probably be scolded by Aileen before that. Then, the tower's administrator asks if Ajax Opa is not listening to you again. The tower's administrator says if you summon Ajax Opa again, this time she'll give him a real beating. Aileen, hearing Sejun's words, became angry, thinking Ajax was causing trouble for Sejun again. For Ajax, who had not been causing any trouble and had been working hard lately, this was quite unfair. It's not like that, Aileen. Sejun calmed Aileen down and said, Transport. Sejun paid 1 million tower coins for the inter-tower transportation fee and moved 5,000 cherry tomatoes to the Black Tower. Shortly after, poof! Elixir, cherry tomato imbued with powerful magic power, 5,000 pieces, 50 kg, have arrived. as 5,000 white cherry tomatoes appeared in front of Sejun, forming a small mountain. Aileen ran out of cherry tomatoes. Eat these. Sejun sent 3,000 cherry tomatoes to Aileen. Aileen eats about 50 cherry tomatoes a day. With 3,000 pieces, that was enough for 60 days, roughly 2 months. The reason Aileen only eats 50 cherry tomatoes a day is that any more would exceed her magical potential. Aileen's magic power had already reached its potential. However, as Aileen was in her growth phase, her potential increased day by day. Sejun's honey jelly also greatly helped increase her potential. The increase in Aileen's magical potential was about 50 a day. Considering the effect of elixir cherry tomatoes is a 10 increase in magic power, it was odd. Eating 50 should increase her magic power by 500. That's strange. Sejun initially found this odd. According to his common sense, eating beyond one's potential should lead to a bathroom visit. But there was something Sejun didn't know. Aileen wasn't fully benefiting from the effects of the cherry tomatoes. The elixir cherry tomatoes were far from matching Aileen's stature, so their effects weren't fully realized. When Aileen ate 1 cherry tomato, her magic power increased by 1. Thus, Aileen was increasing her magic power by 50 a day, 1,500 a month. According to Kaiser, there are no cases of hatchlings of Aileen's age increasing their potential this rapidly. The tower's administrator says thank you. Aileen, having received the elixir cherry tomatoes, was moved by Sejun's thoughtful gesture. Kitahiti, Sejun, I'll repay you with a more delicious dish. Since Sejun would worry and strongly advise against it whenever she mentioned cooking, Aileen decided to cook in secret. Unaware of Aileen's intentions, Sejun packed some elixir cherry tomatoes into a bowl. Vice Chairman Theo, please pack these. Got it, meow. Yet Theo packed the remaining elixir cherry tomatoes into a bag. This was because a large quantity of elixir, cherry tomato imbued with powerful magic power together, could create an effect similar to a blue moon. Once the elixir cherry tomatoes were organized, I should send some honey jelly to Ajax to make him stronger. Eating honey jelly slightly strengthens magic-related talents, so it should help. Sejun sent Ajax 10 bottles filled with honey jelly and the seeds of elixir, cherry tomato imbued with powerful magic power. And then, squeeze. Sejun went to the kitchen to press the cherry tomatoes and start making cherry tomato juice, using the elixir, cherry tomato imbued with powerful magic power. Currently, Sejun's magic power stats and potential are: Magic power, 580-1708. Sejun was no longer the old self who would need to visit the bathroom after eating a few elixir cherry tomatoes. Hehe, I'm not who I used to be. Sejun made the elixir cherry tomato juice with a confident expression. A little later, guys, let's eat dinner. Sejun had dinner with the animals. Kuehe krung. Hehe, it's delicious. Kyungi, holding honey bixialgi in his front paws, ate joyously. Kyungi, you should drink while eating, otherwise you might get a stomachache. Sejun brought a cup filled with cherry tomato juice to Kyungi's mouth. Gulp, gulp. Kyungi quickly drank the juice, perhaps because his throat was dry. And then, whap whap. Once his throat was no longer dry, Kyungi quickly started eating honey bixialgi again. At that moment, thump thump, a yellow paw hit Sejun's arm. Chairman Park, pay attention over here too, meow. Theo, who had already finished the churu Sejun had spooned out for him, spoke in a sullen voice. Our Vice Chairman Theo, you've already finished eating. Pew Hu Hut, yes, meow. Vice Chairman Theo is good at eating fish and churu, meow. Sejun praised a bit, and Theo, quickly becoming proud, boasted in a pompous voice. Here. Sejun spooned out some homemade churu for Theo. Slurp, slurp, slurp. Theo started eating eagerly again. Peg, peg, peg. Pio. Delicious. Beside them, Piat happily pecked at the peanut powder Sejun had ground up for him. Thus, everyone enjoyed a happy dinner, ending the day on a joyful note. From the Black Tower to the White Tower, 30,000 elixir, cherry tomato imbued with powerful magic power seeds, and 10 bottles of honey jelly have been sent. Huh, what's this? Ajax, wearing a straw hat and boots, holding a scythe, was puzzled by the arrival of something other than cherry tomato seeds. Honey jelly. Although Sejun sent it with the intention of making Ajax stronger and increase the harvest of cherry tomatoes. It seems the human feels sorry for me. Ajax misunderstood, thinking Sejun sent the honey jelly as an apology for making him work hard. HMPH, do you think I'd be happy with this? Ajax's lips slightly curled up in a good mood. Clicking. Pretending otherwise, Ajax opened a bottle of honey jelly. Yum. I definitely won't enjoy this. He was a great white dragon. He wouldn't fall for such food. With that firm resolution, Ajax ate the honey jelly. But then, Sarariru. What's this? It's too delicious. The rich honey flavor of the honey jelly melted in his mouth like cotton candy, lowering Ajax's defenses. HMPH, I'll eat it considering the human sincerity. Yum yum. Ajax excitedly ate the honey jelly and then noticed. Oh look, the cherry tomatoes are ripe. He harvested the cherry tomatoes. And then, swoosh! The effect of the honey jelly caused Ajax's dragon heart to grow slightly, increasing the magic power he emitted. The next morning. All right. As soon as Sejun got up. Meow. He picked up Theo and then, clicking, attached it to his leg and marked the date on the wall. 360th day since being stranded. Today is the founding ceremony of the Red Ribbon Kingdom. Sejun hurried to sell the black beans to the dragons and had to go down to the 55th floor of the tower. Clunk. As Sejun and Theo were about to open the bedroom door and come out. Pio, I want to go too. Piat, who had been sleeping in a wooden box house, hurriedly followed Sejun. I am Theo's right front paw man, going wherever Vice Chairman Theo goes. Clicking. Thus, Sejun, taking Theo and Piat with him, went to the storeroom and opened the golden box of abundance to take out 2 black beans. Good, that makes 6. Sejun took the 6 black beans and headed towards the fountain where the dragons were. At that moment, Pio, Vice Chairman Theo, didn't we forget something? Piat asked Theo. There was something forgotten, but it couldn't recall what it was. However, Hut, worry not, Piat. I was planning to give Chairman Park the lottery draw after breakfast, meow. Theo gave a different answer. This time, both Theo and Piat completely forgot that they needed to save the mother tree together. Pio. Ah, that was it. Vice Chairman Theo is indeed a smart cat. Of course, meow. Theo was smug at Piat's words. Truly, Theo and Piat were a fantastic combo. Chapter 274, Exciting Meow. Purple Tower, 52nd floor. Kiek. A giant tarantula climbed onto a massive land floating in the sky. Then, rustle. Countless tentacles began to emerge, tearing through the back of the tarantula. Crack. The tentacles soon tore apart the giant tarantula's body and moved on their own, leaving their host behind. Kekekek, we've arrived. It was a fragment of the Kraken, a sea-devouring monster, one of the 12 apostles of destruction who held the 6th seat. Having found what it wanted, it revealed its true form, indifferent to the fate of its host. Rustle. The Kraken's fragment crawled across the wasteland towards the center of the land. And Kekekek found it, the temple of the god of creation. The Kraken's fragment spotted a serene building surrounded by Emila's garden in the distance. The temple of the god of creation, guarded by the apostle of creation. The apostles of destruction kept entering the tower in search of this place. Kekekek, I can sense a delicious energy. Specifically, they aim to absorb the power emanating from the temple of the god of creation. For the apostles of destruction, The power of creation is a fine nourishment that can enhance the power of destruction. The more they absorb the power of creation, the stronger the power of destruction becomes. Rustle, rustle. Thus, the kraken's fragment made its way to Emila's garden. SSSSS. As the tentacles of the kraken's fragment touched, the crops turned to ash, and the garden began to transform into a wasteland. When a quarter of the garden had been reduced to ash. This is far enough. Now we can unlock the third seal. With those words, the fragment of the kraken was expelled, and the land housing the temple of the god of creation moved elsewhere. Here, take 2 each and pay me 50 billion tower coins each. Sejun showed the black beans in his left hand to the dragons and extended his right hand, money first. Kekek understood. Sejun, here's mine. 2. Snap, snap, snap. Excited by the sight of the black beans, the dragons hurriedly gave Sejun the money and took 2 black beans each from his left hand. It's so light. The money bag felt unbelievably light for holding 150 billion tower coins, thanks to a high-level weight reduction magic spell, even more advanced than the one Theo used to carry. Heh, I should switch our kids' money bags to these. Pleasantly surprised by the unexpected extra income, Sejun began counting the tower coins inside the money bag. It's exactly 150 billion tower coins. After confirming the amount received from the dragons, Sejun now had the funds to acquire new powers, but there was no time to shop for powers. As Sejun came down from the fountain, Kyungi. He called for Kyungi. Thud, 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 thud. Kyungi eagerly came running in response to Sejun's call. And snap. Kyung, Kyung. Did Dad call Kyungi? Is it time for Kyungi to eat? Thinking it was time to eat, Kyungi ran excitedly and clung to Sejun's leg. However, hold on a bit, Kyungi, Toryang. Sejun, along with the animals and Toryang, headed towards the waypoint. They had to hurry not to be late for the founding ceremony. Kugagung. Riding Toryang to the waypoint. Now let's eat breakfast. Sejun fed the animals on Toryang's head. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Theo had churu. Crunch, crunch. Kyungi ate a giant sweet potato. Slurp, slurp. The golden bat ate grapes. Peg, peg, peg. Piat ate peanut powder. While the animals ate their food. Munch, munch. Sejun also filled his stomach with dried sweet potato snacks. Then, Chairman Park, I have something for you, meow. After finishing the churu, Theo stood up on Sejun's lap and shouted, Piat, now's the time, meow. Flap, flap. Pio. Theonym, here I am. Responding to Theo's signal, Piat hurriedly carried Theo's bag and flew to him. Hut, good job, Piat. Chairman Park, take this, meow. Thus, Theo, having received the bag, pulled out 2 items from the bag he had gotten from the ghost storage on the 75th floor of the tower and handed them to Sejun. One was a book with a tattered leather cover, and the other was a wooden stick. Book. Usage restriction, magic power 50. Creator anonymous. Grade B. Staff. Usage restriction, none. Creator anonymous. Grade D. Since they were unappraised items, the inside of the book was blank, and the staff seemed ordinary. Aileen, please appraise these for me. The tower's administrator says to leave it to her. While Sejun was asking Aileen for an appraisal. Meow. While organizing the bag, Theo found an item. What's this, meow? The item Theo pulled from the bag was a land deed. It was for the 79th floor of the tower. That's right, meow. This reminded Theo of the promise to take Sejun to heal the mother tree and receive a reward from Louis. And Theo imagined giving Sejun the chosen reward and then lying on Sejun's lap, making a loud declaration. Hut, just thinking about it makes me excited, meow. I must quickly take Chairman Park to the 79th floor, meow. Theo was excited about shouting at Sejun. Chairman Park, we must go to the 79th floor, meow. We have to heal the mother tree, meow. Theo urged Sejun, who was supposed to attend the Black Rabbit's founding ceremony, to go to the 79th floor instead. Pio, Sejun Nim, we need to go heal the mother tree. Right, I was on a mission. Piot, reminded of its mission by Theo's words, exclaimed loudly. Calm down, guys. We need to go to the founding ceremony now. We'll go after it's over. Understood, Meow. Then let's go after the founding ceremony, Meow. Here, the land deed, Meow. Theo handed Sejun the land deed for the 79th floor. Okay, but how did you get this? When Sejun asked how Theo obtained the land deed. Pew Hut, in order to obtain your egg fruits, Theo lay on Sejun's lap, bringing Sejun's hand to his belly and began to explain. Pet me while I speak, Meow. If that's the case, of course we must go. Hearing Theo's story, Sejun's attitude became proactive. We can't let the tree that bears egg fruits die. Egg fruits were very precious to Sejun. As their conversation ended, the tower's administrator says the appraisal is finished. With Aileen's words, a book and a staff appeared in Sejun's hand. Experienced Farmer's Plant Encyclopedia. Unending Staff. Chairman Park, look at the staff first, Meow. Since the staff had a weaker attraction, Theo suggested Sejun look at the staff first. Staff. Following Theo's suggestion, Sejun examined the staff. The staff had the ability to extend indefinitely when magic power was applied. It could be useful when we run out of firewood. After checking the staff, shall we look at the book? Sejun then examined the book. Experienced Farmer's Plant Encyclopedia. An encyclopedia where an experienced farmer recorded his knowledge. Writing the name of a crop on a blank page will reveal the location of that crop growing within the Black Tower. A page once used cannot be reused. Pages available, 0200. Usage restriction. Magic power 500 or above must have a farming-related occupation. Creator, experienced farmer Figaro. Grade S+. Write the name of a crop on a blank page, and it tells you the location. Reading the description made Sejun want to test the book's functionality. But I don't have a pen. Sejun didn't have a pen. Is there something else I can use? Sejun looked around for an alternative to a pen. Then, Pip, the grape seeds are for Sejun Nim. Throw away the grape skins. Sejun spotted the golden bat separating seeds from a grape after finishing the grape juice. That's it. Golden bat, give me the grape skin. Yes. Without hesitation or question, the golden bat brought over the grape skin at Sejun's request. Squeeze. Sejun squeezed the grape skin with all his might. Drip, drip. 2 drops of red juice fell. Good. Sejun dipped his index finger in the red juice and began to write on the book. Sweet pota. He chose a crop he knew well to verify the accuracy of the information. As Sejun wrote on the blank page of the book. Sweet potato locations. Power sweet potato, 99th floor of the tower, 55th floor of the tower. Golden sweet potato, 99th floor of the tower, 55th floor of the tower. Night sweet potato, 70th floor of the tower. The locations of sweet potatoes appeared. The first 2 were well known to Sejun. However, night sweet potato. Sejun was surprised to find that a different type of sweet potato existed in the Black Tower. Then other crops. Just as Sejun was about to write the names of other crops he didn't know existed in the Black Tower on the blank page of the Experienced Farmer's Plant Encyclopedia. Master, we have arrived. Toryang announced their arrival at the waypoint. Clang. Guys, go inside. Sejun sent the animals into the void storage and placed his hand on the red crystal to move to the 55th floor. Inside the White Castle on the 55th floor of the tower. Has the delegation not arrived yet? Legendary merchant Jido, seated in the VIP section, asked his subordinate. Yes, that is. We've released all merchants to search, but there's still no contact about finding the delegation. Sai, the founding ceremony is about to start. What exactly is the delegation doing? Jito sighed in frustration at his subordinate's response. There really wasn't much time left until the start of the founding ceremony. The delegation Jito was waiting for was from the kingdom of Kav, and as a native of Kav Kingdom, Jito was responsible for the delegation's gifts. Still, just in case, have some merchants wait at the entrance of the kingdom. Yes. Following Jito's orders, his subordinate left. We need a plan. Jito began to think of what to do if the delegation did arrive. However, no suitable plan came to mind. There just wasn't enough time. Not sending an official delegation to another country's founding ceremony would be a serious insult to the host nation. It could lead to a diplomatic issue, and in the worst case, even war. Of course, the king and queen are not of bad-tempered, so it shouldn't come to that, but still, it would hurt their feelings. As Ji was pondering how to remedy the situation, Lord Jito, a subordinate, quickly ran to Jito with some news. Is that true? Yes, they were definitely wearing the badge of Kav Kingdom's chief diplomat. Good, lead the way. Yes. Jito hurriedly followed his subordinate. On the 55th floor of the tower, as Sejun arrived at the 55th floor via the waypoint. Back. Welcome, Sejun Nim. Coco, the captain of the escort squad waiting at the waypoint, greeted Sejun. Right, we're not late, are we? Back. No, there's plenty of time. Please follow me. Just a moment, guys, come out. Sejun quickly called out the animals from the void storage. Meow. Pip. Pio. As soon as Sejun called, Theo, the golden bat, and Piat emerged from the void storage. However, Kyungi hadn't come out because he was busy filling his snack pouch. Kyungi, Dad will give you something delicious later. Let's fill the snack pouch later. Kyung. Reluctantly, Sejun went into the void storage to coax Kyungi and came out holding him in both hands. Let's go. Back. Yes. As Sejun and the animals followed Coco into the White Castle. Diplomat, where have you been all this time? Jito, emerging from the castle, shouted upon seeing Sejun's group, or more precisely at Piat. Pio. Diplomat me. Piat, receiving Jito's gaze, tilted its head in confusion. I'm not a diplomat. This time it wasn't that Piat had forgotten, it genuinely didn't know. Although Louis had given Piat a badge symbolizing its status as the chief diplomat of the Kav Kingdom, fearing that Piat might encounter difficulties, he hadn't informed Piat of this fact. Seeing Theo next to him, he felt strongly that he shouldn't tell them. And, Puhut, Jito, nice to see you, meow. But if I'm a diplomat, what can I receive, meow? As Louis feared, Theo, with eyes full of anticipation, wagged its excited tail and asked Jito. Puhut, exciting, meow. Theo revved up, ready to score big today too. Chapter 275. Won't you work part-time with us, meow? Why is Vice Chairman Theonim here? Jito, a legendary merchant, belatedly noticed Theo next to Piat and asked in confusion. It's not important, meow. What are you going to give to our Piat, huh? Theo, demanding as if entitled to receive something, boldly stretched out his front paw towards Jito. Piat is his subordinate. Thus, if Piat receives something good, it belongs to him. And if I give that to Chairman Park, I'll get to lie on Chairman Park's lap and be adored, Puhut. Ni fanatic Theo Park, all about being on Sejun's lap. And then, Pio. Please give me mine quickly. I'll give it to Vice Chairman Theonim. Piat, the self-proclaimed right front paw man of Theo. Overjoyed to have something to give to Theo, Piat quickly babbled to Jito to give him his. Just calm down. Jito, troubled by the insistent demands of Theo and Piat, wore a troubled expression. Then, swoosh. Kyung. Why aren't you giving it? It's not Kyungi, put it away. Sejun hurriedly stopped Kyungi, the apostle of justice, from taking out the stick of justice from his snack pouch to help Theo and Piat. Kyung. Is it not the time for Kyungi to punish the bad guys? Yeah, not now, come here. Sejun opened his arms wide, and Kyungi jumped into Sejun's embrace, and Sejun hugged him. Kyuehehe Kyung. Hehe, daddy's chest is so fluffy. Kyungi buried his head into Sejun's chest and rubbed against it happily. It's not that fluffy, is it? Shocked by Kyungi's comment, Sejun asked seriously. But, Kyung. No, dad's chest is really fluffy. Kyungi replied honestly, without any pretense. I'll start working out from now. Sejun resolved to work out diligently from now on to build firm muscles. While Sejun and Kyungi were talking, give it here, meow. Pio. Hand it over. Theo and Piot were still pestering Jido. Guys, stop it. We'll be late for the founding ceremony. Eventually, Sejun stepped in to stop them. Chi, it's a failure, meow. Pio. Chi, what a failure. Disappointed by Sejun's intervention, Theo and Piot pouted briefly before coolly turning back. Then, excuse me, are you perhaps the great black dragon? Jido cautiously asked, observing Sejun giving orders to Theo. Theo is a subordinate of the great black dragon. Thus, Sejun, who was giving orders to Theo, must be either the great black dragon himself or a subordinate higher in rank than Theo. Of course, from the outside, it seemed like neither was the case. However, if he's not the great black dragon, it doesn't make sense. Seeing Sejun holding a bear filled with tremendous energy without showing any energy himself, Jido was convinced that Sejun was indeed the great black dragon. Pew hut. Chairman Park's lap energy is good, meow. All the energy released by Sejun was being absorbed by Theo due to Theo's energy drain, but Jido was unaware. Pew hut. That's right, meow. Chairman Park is the great black dragon, meow, and I. As Theo began to introduce himself under the guise of introducing Sejun. Pipayak. We need to go now. Coco intervened at the right moment to cut it off. All right, let's hurry. Sejun hurriedly moved on, and Jido followed Sejun for the time being. So, Sejun and the animals arrived at a giant hall under Coco's guidance. Unlike the wedding that had taken place outdoors before, the founding ceremony was to be held indoors this time. Click. Upon Sejun's arrival, Ulrich, the king of the Black Orcs, Urin, the legendary merchant, and Mimir, another legendary merchant, stood up from their seats and bowed their heads in greeting to Sejun. Then, Kaiwat, welcome Sejunim. Yona quickly flew to greet Sejun and then zipped into Theo's tail. And then, Pio. Hello, I'm Pururur Yatra from the white-headed, long-tailed tit tribe, and I'll be Vice Chairman Theo's right front paw man. But who are you? Piot greeting Yona, whom he had never met before. Oh my! Jido was horrified to see Piot, oblivious to the fact that he was speaking to Iona, the Tower Master and the Wizard of Great Destruction. He thought they needed to intervene quickly. Just as Jido was about to step in to prevent the situation from escalating. Kaiwat. Yes, Piot, nice to meet you. My name is Iona. Do your best to become a good right front paw man for Vice Chairman Theo. Pio. Yes, I will work hard. Kaiwat, okay. Iona was seen encouraging Piot, a grumpy wizard offering encouragement. Is it because they're in front of the great black dragon, or because she's beside her lover? While Jido was amazed to see a gentle side of Iona. Bam. The founding ceremony began with the sound of trumpets. And then, thump, as the giant doors of the hall opened. Pipayak, Choo and the Black Rabbit, wearing a splendid golden crown, walked towards the throne and took their seats. The delegation envoys congratulating the Red Ribbon Kingdom on its founding may now enter. Various organizations and country delegations began entering, presenting greetings and gifts to Choo and the Black Rabbit. While the delegations were taking turns greeting Choo and the Black Rabbit, P.O. Vice Chairman Theo, should I join the delegation or not? Piat, having heard from Jido about representing the Kingdom of Kav delegation, asked Theo. Puhuhut, nothing comes for free. Theo was obviously aiming to make a profit from this opportunity. But, of course you should. Sejun spoke up, silencing Theo. It seemed like an important matter, considering Jido's urgency. Oh, thank you, oh great black dragon. Jido expressed his gratitude to Sejun for stepping in. Just call me Sejun. Yes, Lord Sejun. Thus, Piat agreed to become a delegate. However, Piat was too small to carry the gifts Jido had prepared, and it didn't look dignified enough for a delegation. Then, Puhuhut Jido need a part-timer meow, will become the delegates as part-timers meow. Theo extended his front paw towards Jido again, implying to pay up for the part-time job. Jido was considering whether to accept this offer when. That's a great idea. Sejun was excited at the thought of putting beaks and wings on Theo and Kyungi. It sounded fun. Thus, Theo and Kyungi became part-time delegates. Shortly after, the delegation from the 79th floor of the tower, the Kingdom of Kav, will now enter. With the crier's announcement, 4 delegates from the Kingdom of Kav entered. Piat leading the way, walked forward with dignity. However, tip-tap, tip-tap, tip-tap. Due to his short legs, despite his efforts, his walking speed was quite slow. Following Piat, Theo, and Kyungi, adorned with beaks and wings made of green onion leaves, slowly trailed behind. Puhuhut, I'm not a cat, I'm a bird, meow. Kyuehehe Kyung. Hehe Kyungi can fly. Theo and Kyungi, flapping their makeshift wings earnestly as they walked. Guys, be gentle, the wings might tear if you're not careful. Sejun whispered as quietly as possible from behind Theo and Kyungi. Originally, he had planned to send just Theo and Kyungi. Meow, isn't Chairman Park going to work part-time with us, meow? No, I'm not going to. That's not acceptable, meow, we are one, meow. Kyung. Kyungi wants to work part-time with Dad too, we are one. Unable to refuse after their use of Declaration of Unity slogan, Sejun felt obliged to adhere to his words. Thus, Sejun too donned a beak and followed at the end of the delegation. Flap, flap. The roll of the wings was taken on by the golden bat attached to Sejun's back, and thanks to that, they received the wages for 4 people. Tip-tap, tip-tap, tip-tap. As Piat and the group, leading the way, arrived at the place for their presentation to Choo Choo and the Black Rabbit. Uncle, what are Theo Hyung and Kyungi doing? The Black Rabbit asked Sejun with his eyes. Don't ask anything. Sejun shook his head subtly, replying with his gaze to the Black Rabbit's question. Meanwhile, P.O., the great queen of the Red Ribbon Kingdom. Piat started with the speech he had memorized. However, P.O. Piat began to stumble from the first line. A delegation not knowing the name of the opposing kingdom's queen. It was a massive blunder. What was the queen's name again? Piat looked at Sejun with eyes almost welling up. No choice, time for plan B. Sejun had prepared a backup plan in case Piat forgot his lines. Golden Bat. Sejun summoned the Golden Bat in a whisper, so quiet that no one else could hear. To the great Queen Choo Choo and King Black Rabbit of the Red Ribbon Kingdom. The Golden Bat, from Sejun's back, telepathically transmitted the script to Piat, allowing their delegation part-time job to end successfully. Pi-pi-pi. Pi-payak. As Choo Choo and the Black Rabbit finished receiving the gifts from the delegation and were bestowing official positions on the founding contributors. Elj, is that bastard the one who took your inner core? A humanoid crocodile in the VIP seats, looking like Elj Cayman, asked while looking at Sejun, who had returned from the delegation part-time job and was dozing off. Yes, that's the guy. This will make things easier. Komodo Cayman, the second prince, smiled viciously at Sejun after hearing Elj Kamen's confirmation. 3 days ago, Komodo Kamen, as Elj Kamen's escort, received news from his subordinate that Elj had not only become a slave but also had his inner core stolen. A prince of the Kamen kingdom. Komodo Kamen, furious at Elj for bringing shame to their family, rushed to inform his father, Croaker Kamen, of the situation and requested elite soldiers' support. He said he would take charge and solve the problem himself. Thus, Komodo Kamen descended to the 55th floor of the tower with 100 elite soldiers, having received the king's permission. Just wait a little longer, QQ Cuck. Elj Kamen laughed, looking at Sejun. And, stupid fool, to have your inner core stolen by such a worthless creature. Komodo Kamen eyed his brother disdainfully. He wasn't here to save his brother. Your inner core will be put to good use. In exchange, your corpse will be buried in the royal cemetery. Komodo Kamen's plan was to kill Elj Kamen, the disgrace of the royal family, and consume the inner core that Sejun possessed. Of course, he intended to kill anyone who belittled the Kamen kingdom. Then, bam! With the sound of a long trumpet, the founding ceremony came to an end, and move out. Yes. At Komodo Kamen's command, the elite soldiers who had been waiting began to move. Bam! Huh! Sejun snapped awake at the sound of the trumpet. And then, tab tab tab. Guys, wake up, it's over. He began waking up the animals sleeping on his legs by gently tapping them. Meow. Kyung. Kaiwat. Pip. Pio. As Sejun woke them up, the animals energetically stretched and got up. Everyone's already gone. Since the banquet hall was set up in another location, except for a few engaged in conversation, almost everyone had moved to the banquet hall, leaving the hall almost empty. Let's quickly go and eat something. Waking up made him incredibly hungry. Kyung. Daddy, let's go quickly. Kyungi is hungry. Kyungi, feeling equally, if not more hunger, urged Sejun. All right, let's hurry. Come on to your positions. At Sejun's words, Theo and Kyungi took their places on Sejun's legs, while the golden bat and Piat settled on Sejun's shoulders. Kaiwat. Yona was still not fully awake, but with securely attached to Theo's tail, she wasn't worried. Just as Sejun was about to head to the banquet hall to eat. Can we talk for a moment? Komodo Kamen, along with his elite soldiers, surrounded Sejun and the animals. Kyungi is getting angry because Kyungi's hungry. An annoyed Kyungi took out the stick of justice from his snack pouch, but Sejun didn't stop him. What do you want? Sejun was also in a bad mood because of hunger. It was the worst possible timing for Komodo Kamen. Chapter 276. Did Kyungi control his strength? Hey, I heard you have my brother Elj's inner core. If you hand it over nicely, your life will be spared. While Sejun and Kyungi, annoyed by hunger, were unaware of Komodo Kamen's smug approach. Kyungi is angry because he's hungry. Kyungi will show you the justice of Kyungi. Whoosh! Kyungi swung his stick of justice towards Komodo Kamen and the elite soldiers blocking his way. To Kyungi, there was no greater injustice than hunger. Boom! A massive explosion and shockwave occurred, creating winds so fierce that it was impossible to open one's eyes. And then, it's all over. Sejun belatedly realized that this place was the royal palace. I'll rebuild a stronger building for you guys. Sejun apologized to Black Rabbit and Choo Choo inwardly. After the wind settled, Sejun opened his eyes to see the extent of the damage to the royal palace. However, it's intact. Contrary to Sejun's expectation, the royal palace was still standing. Not a single crack was on the hall's walls, and only Komodo Kamen, the elite soldiers, and some furniture were cleanly gone. Did our Kyungi control his strength? When Sejun looked at Kyungi, Kyung. Why didn't it break? Anyway, that's a relief. Kyungi, who, just like Sejun was relieved that the building hadn't been destroyed, was seen. It wasn't just Kyungi. Then, Kaiwat, Kaiwat, Kaiwat. Kyungi, even if you're angry, what would we have done if the royal palace was destroyed? Yona, having emerged from Theo's tail, holding the staff of disaster, spoke to Kyungi. Yona had cast absolute shield magic around them to prevent Kyungi's attack from destroying the building. Kyung. Kyungi was angry because the way was blocked due to hunger. Kyungi will be careful next time. Kaiwat, Kaiwat, Kaiwat. Try to control your strength a bit more in the future. Yona telling Kyungi to control his power was ironic, coming from a wizard of destruction. While Sejun's gaze was on Kyungi and Yona. Rumble, rumble. Meow. Theo picked up a black orb that rolled towards him. Pew hut. The front paws being attracted to it means it's a good thing, meow. Later, after eating, I should give this to Chairman Park and ask for a belly rub, meow. Theo, smirking, put the black orb into his bag. Thus, Komodo Cayman's inner core ended up in Sejun's hands. In the end, Kyungi and Iona did all the work, but Sejun and Theo reaped the benefits. With Iona's help, the incident was resolved without major damage. Kyungi, let's go eat. Kyung. Good. Click. Kyungi, his mood slightly improved after swinging the stick of justice, quickly clung to Sejun's leg. Let's go. Sejun moved towards the banquet hall. In Hawaii, USA. Headquarters, we've reached the destination. A C-17 transport aircraft appeared over Hawaii. Drop them. Roger that. Following the headquarters command, the pilot opened the rear door, and soldiers dropped boxes containing 100 kg of vitality-infused fragrant grapes each. Thump, thump. The boxes fell to the ground, and the vitality-infused fragrant grapes inside burst from the impact. Shortly after, gulp, gulp. Drawn by the dense fragrant grape aroma spreading around, giant leeches approached. The scent was so strong that all the giant leeches within a 5 km radius of the boxes gathered. And the giant leeches close to the boxes started sucking the juice of the vitality-infused fragrant grapes. Headquarters, the leeches are responding to box number 1. Good, check the other boxes as well. Roger that. The pilot flew the transport aircraft to drop boxes at other drop points and checked their reactions. A total of 10 boxes were dropped. Headquarters, leeches have responded to boxes from 1 to 10. Understood, return now. As the pilot of the transport aircraft received orders from headquarters to return and was changing direction. The pilot noticed something strange. Bang, bang. The giant leeches had started fighting among themselves. Even though the vitality-infused fragrant grapes were gone, the scent of the grapes continued to emanate from the bodies of the leeches that had eaten them. The giant leeches attacked and killed the ones emitting the scent of the vitality-infused fragrant grapes. Slurp, slurp, slurp. And began to suck the remaining juice of the vitality-infused fragrant grapes from their bodies. Bang! The giant leech that killed its kin and consumed the juice of the vitality-infused fragrant grapes became a target for the other leeches' attacks. This cycle continued for about an hour before stopping, and the Naval Command received reports for the first time that the number of giant leeches had decreased. And then, they said they give vitality-infused fragrant grapes for working on the grape farm on the 4th floor of the tower, right? Send hunters to the 4th floor to secure as many vitality-infused fragrant grapes as possible. Chief of Naval Operations, Samuel ordered the deployment of Navy-affiliated hunters to work on the grape farm on the 4th floor of the tower to obtain vitality-infused fragrant grapes. Thus, Operation Civil Support saw 500 Navy-affiliated hunters dispatched to work on the grape farm on the 4th floor. Cayman Royal Family's Inner Core. The core contains approximately 120 years' worth of accumulated magic power. Upon consumption, it grants a total of 100 bonus stats. If consumed by a being with magic power less than 120, the inner core will absorb all of their stats instead. Usage restriction, LV, 52 and above, magic power 120 and above. Grade S. This a inner core too. Hut, how is it meow? After finishing his meal and feeling full, Theo, lying on Sejun's lap and making him stroke his belly, asked with a smug voice. Of course you did well. Sejun responded while vigorously stroking Theo's forehead and chin. Hut, naturally meow. I the vice chairman Theo always do well meow. Theo seemed like he could fly to the sky with Sejun's lavish praise. Swoosh swoosh. Theo expressed his pleasure by rubbing his back against Sejun's lap. As a result, Sejun's pants were covered in fur. I should make another Theo ball soon. Kaiwat, a Theo ball, I'll buy it. Yona, who had been eagerly eating roasted peanuts, heard Sejun's words and hurriedly requested a pre-order with her cheeks puffed, rushing as if afraid someone else might snatch it away. After all, if not Yona, no one else would buy it. Thus, it was decided to sell the Theoball to the valued customer, Yona. Crunch, crunch. Yona felt relieved and started eating her peanuts again. Then, Kuehehe Kuang. Hehe, delicious. Sejun saw Kuangi, who, despite having eaten over an hour ago, was enjoying the meat as if it was his first time. And, Pio Pio. I'll eat a lot and grow big enough to carry Master Theo on my back. Piat won't lose to fullness. Piat, who had returned after emptying its stomach. Peg, peg, peg. Inspired by Kuangi's hearty eating, Piat emptied his stomach for the 10th time and started eating peanut powder again. It's still a long way to go. Watching them eat, it seemed like he would have to wait even longer for the meal to end. Theo, hold this for a moment. Sejun handed the inner core to Theo and, swoosh, pulled out Elge's inner core from the pouch on his waist for comparison. He had kept Elge's inner core without consuming it, intrigued by the explanation that the inner core could be cultivated. As Sejun took out the inner core, meow. An attraction occurred between the inner core Sejun held and the one Theo held, trying to merge with each other. And as Sejun loosened his grip on the inner core he held, the inner core was drawn towards the one Theo held and naturally merged into one like two droplets of water coming together. Oh, fascinating. Sejun checked the inner core held by Theo and noticed its content had changed to grant 220 bonus stats. Hut, that too is because I did well meow. Theo took all the credit and looked at Sejun. Come on, praise me already meow. Right. While Sejun was stroking Theo's belly for a while. Hello Theonim. 5 monsters approached Theo to greet him. They were Goblin Paku and other monsters sent by the bosses of the 50th floor to receive the Dragon Warrior helmet. They had been waiting in the tavern for several days on Theo's instructions, and since Theo hadn't come looking for them, they decided to find him. Scare him. As soon as Sejun saw Paku's face like Theo, he recalled Scaram. Hut, this guy is not Scaram but Scaram's nephew meow. Theo corrected Sejun's mistake. Nephew. That's right, and now he's my subordinate meow. Greet him meow. This is Chairman Park meow. Yes, greetings Chairman Parknam. The monsters greeted Sejun following Theo's words. Ah, nice to meet you, Theo, but what are these monsters here for? Sejun quietly asked Theo after receiving the monsters' greetings. Hut, these guys want to receive the Dragon Warrior helmet. Theo explained the monsters' circumstances. Is that so, then? Sejun told Theo about the conditions to receive the Dragon Warrior helmet. And then, Hut, Chairman Park said you must satisfy 2 conditions to receive the Dragon Warrior helmet meow. Theo relayed Sejun's words. 2 conditions. What are they? The monsters hurriedly asked after Theo's announcement. Land deed and an interview meow. With the Dragon Warrior helmet, there would be almost no adversaries on that floor, so Sejun wanted to interview the bosses to see if they were decent monsters. and for Sejun to interview the bosses, he needed a land deed to move to the floor where the boss was located. Understood. The monsters hurriedly dispersed to convey the two conditions mentioned by Theo to their bosses. Thus, rumors that a land deed was necessary to receive the magnificent dragon warrior helmet, bestowed by the great black dragon, began to spread throughout the Black Tower. Thanks to this, Sejun could easily obtain more land deeds. Fourth floor of the tower. What is this? Jackson, the leader of the Navy-affiliated hunters sent to work on the grape farm, was puzzled by the incredibly long line. Rumors about the grape farm had spread, and other hunters had also lined up to work there. Since one could easily earn hundreds of millions by working peacefully for just 10 hours, it was incredibly popular among beginner hunters. Then, Russell, are you here to work? A black skeleton approached Jackson and handed him a piece of bone. 512. Looking at the numbers carved into the bone, Jackson realized it was a number tag, and that there were 511 hunters in front of him. Major Jackson, should we change our strategy? Yes, sir, this is taking too long. Let's just go in. When his subordinate suggested a strategy involving force. Boom! A group of intruders attacked the grape farm's warehouse, creating a loud explosion. And then, thud, thud. Suddenly, 10 3-meter-tall giant skeletons rose and began killing the intruders with overwhelming force. They were the Dragon Tooth warriors Sejun had left for the defense of the grape farm. Sejun originally planned to give the Dragon Tooth warriors helmets to the 10 black skeletons, including Philip, to guard the grape farm. However, the black skeletons couldn't wear the Dragon Tooth warrior helmets because they were too weak. So the Dragon Tooth warriors remained in helmet form and only transformed into Dragon Tooth warriors when intruders appeared like now to deal with them. What about buying a spot in line with money? That sounds like a good idea. Thanks to this, the Navy-affiliated hunters quickly adjusted their strategy to a different approach. Chapter 277. Launch a powerful kung fu to the front. Next to the waypoint on the 3rd floor of the tower, there was a 5-story building made of bricks. The nameplate on the building read Gagel, indicating that the brick building was owned by Gagel. This brick building was an office built by Gagel to manage the Experience Point farm, with one each next to the waypoints on the 2nd and 3rd floors of the tower. On the 5th floor of the Experience Point farm management office on the 3rd floor of the tower. Vice Chairman, the operation failed. What? Michael frowned at the unexpected result while waiting for the outcome of the operation. This operation could not afford to fail. The objective of the operation was not to battle with the enemy, but to steal the vitality-infused fragrant grapes and branches of the grapevine. Considering the movement speed of the black skeletons, if the theft was successful, the rest of the operation was bound to succeed. The reason Gagel decided to proceed with this operation, instead of buying grapes from hunters, was that the grapes received by the hunters as payment strangely had no seeds. Michael planned to obtain the seeds or the tree itself to grow the vitality-infused fragrant grapes. Therefore, a thorough investigation was conducted beforehand to ascertain the location of the warehouse, where the black skeletons stored the vitality-infused fragrant grapes and the number of troops guarding it. Moreover, although they were not elites like the Crash Guild, more than 50 first-class hunters were deployed. But to fail. What was the reason? Michael asked his subordinate for the cause of the operation's failure. The thing is, there were 10 3-meter-tall skeletons ambushing around the warehouse. 3-meter-tall skeletons. Yes, unlike ordinary skeletons, they were very hard, strong, and fast. First, make the slaves work in the grape farm and have them sneak out grapes or branches. Yes. Thus, Michael did not give up and immediately proceeded with another operation. Kyungi is now full. After eating non-stop for 2 hours, Kyungi's front paws finally stopped. Kyungi is sleepy. Feeling sleepy after filling his stomach, Kyungi snuggled into Sejun's arms and hugged him. Kurorong. As soon as Kyungi laid his head in Sejun's arms, he fell asleep. Pio. I'm going to the bathroom. Flap flap. Having overeaten, Piat went to empty his stomach again. Although Sejun stopped counting after the 20th time Piat went to the bathroom, he wondered if going so frequently would hurt Piat's bottom. While Piat was in the bathroom, tell the Black Rabbit that we're going to the 79th floor of the tower, and then directly back to the 99th floor. Sejun informed Coco that he was leaving. Peeback. What, then I'll bring the king. No, the Black Rabbit is busy, and we have urgent matters to attend to, so we have to go right away. Peeback. Understood. When Sejun had convinced Coco. Pio. I'm back. Piat quickly returned after emptying his stomach. Then let's head to the 79th floor of the tower now. Guys, get inside. Clank. As Sejun opened the void storage and carefully placed the sleeping Kyungi on the floor, he spoke to the other animals. Understood, meow. Yes. Pio. The animals responded and entered the void storage. Clank. After closing the void storage with the animals inside. Swoosh. Sejun unfolded the land deed for the 79th floor of the Black Tower. The summoning function for the initial engraving of the land deed for the 79th floor farm has been activated. Sejun disappeared. Back. Take care. Coco saluted towards the place where Sejun had vanished, bidding him farewell. You have arrived at the 79th floor farm. You have moved from the top floor, 99th floor, to the 79th floor. You have descended 20 floors. Due to the effect of tidal, retrogressor, all stats increase by 20. Sejun arrived at the farm on the 79th floor of the tower. As usual, he began by checking for the presence of monsters around him. However, mantis. There was no need for that. The area was filled with green monsters resembling mantises, known as mantis. Sejun was momentarily frozen by the overwhelming number of monsters. Then, slash. A sharp forelimb sliced through the air, attacking Sejun's back. It was one of the mantises occupying the farm. The mantis had quietly hunted its prey that suddenly appeared in front of it, showing its back. Ting! But the Holy Stone Ice Shield Cube protected Sejun. Thanks to that, Sejun regained his senses and pointed his finger at the mantis that attacked him, infusing magic into the Holy Stone piercing. Whoosh! 2 fist-sized holes were created in the head of the mantis. Sejun was puzzled by the 2 holes when. Thud! You have killed a young male mantis. You have gained 1,000 experience points. The message of experience gain echoed along with the heavy sound of the dead male mantis falling. At the same time, the attention of the mantises was focused on Sejun. And, queek! The mantises charged towards Sejun. However, clank! Unfortunately for the mantises, the void storage had already been opened. And, Chairman Park, let me tell you, meow. Theo, who hurried to tell Sejun about the many mantises around the farm, realized it was too late after seeing the mantises charging towards Sejun. Pew hut, Chairman Park, I Vice Chairman Theo will save you, meow. Theo quickly shifted stance and unsheathed his dragon claws, sending invisible magic blades towards the mantises attacking Sejun. Guard Theo has killed a young male mantis. You've gained 500 experience points, 50% of the experience points earned by Guard Theo. And, Pip, I'll save you too, Sejun Nim. Pio. Theo Nim, I will assist you. Following Theo, the golden bat and Piat swiftly flew around, killing the mantises. Swoosh! The golden bat swiftly moved, slashing the mantises with its wings. Piu! And Piat headbutted a mantis. Kyung! Meanwhile, Sejun, holding the sleeping Kyungi with both hands, aimed Kyungi's body towards the approaching mantises and Kyungi launched a powerful Kyung Fu to the front. He made Kyungi use Kyung Fu. Kuyeng. Kyungi is so sleepy. Quagwagwing. The Kyung Fu, filled with irritation from being disturbed from a deep sleep, tore the mantises to shreds with its murderous wind. Herbalist Kyungi has killed a young male mantis. You've gained 500 experience points, 50% of the experience points earned by Herbalist Kyungi. You have leveled up. You have gained 1 bonus stat. Thanks to that, Sejun leveled up, reaching level 68. Then, queek! A faint sound reached Sejun's ears. It was the mantises that were weakly hit by the Kyung Fu and had not died but only fainted. Kyungi is sleepy, but Dad woke me up. Sorry, let's go back to sleep. Pet. Piercing. Sejun soothed Kyungi and personally took care of those creatures. Once the surroundings were somewhat cleared. But why are there 2 holes each time? Sejun, curious about this since earlier, checked the Holy Stone piercing to confirm. Holy Stone double piercing. Oh, it evolved. The Holy Stone piercing had evolved into double piercing. It was a successful evolution from desperate special training to avoid being dragged away by Aileen. Then this is the only one left, Sejun said, gazing at the black gem located near his heart in his shadow. It was the heart of Dark, the god of darkness. Should I send it to Aileen? As Sejun pondered whether to send the heart of Dark, the god of darkness, to Aileen. The seal on the heart of Dark, the god of darkness, weakened slightly. The seal on Dark's heart is released by 0.02%. All stats increase by 10. The heart of Dark, the god of darkness, had released its seal up to 99.97%. What's this? Noticing the change, Sejun diverted his attention from the heart of Dark to survey the farm. And, phew, I almost had to meet Kaiser. The heart of Dark, relieved to have avoided a crisis, was fortunate that Sejun's magical power had increased significantly lately, providing the strength to release the seal. While the heart of Dark felt relieved. Are there more mantises? Sejun looked around the farm for any remaining mantises, because the message acknowledging him as the rightful owner of the land deed hadn't appeared despite having dealt with all the mantises occupying the farm. Then, meow, Chairman Park, that's the mother tree over there. Theo, clinging to Sejun's leg, pointed to a gigantic tree in the distance. Is that a tree? As Sejun was astonished by the massive mother tree that seemed to hold the sky. You have discovered a dying mother tree on the 79th floor of the tower. If the mother tree on the 79th floor dies, the birds of the kingdom of Kav will go extinct. A mid-level administrator quest has been generated. Mid-level administrator quest: find and eliminate the cause of the mother tree's death. Time remaining 5 days. Reward: 1 million experience points, 500,000 tower coins. Penalty for failure: death of the mother tree, destruction of the kingdom of Kav. Instead of the awaited message acknowledging him as the farm's owner, a quest message appeared. Only 5 days left. Considering the urgency of the mother tree's situation over the farm, Sejun decided to revisit the farm later and hurried towards the location of the mother tree. Then, as a massive shadow formed. Theonim, you've arrived. Thump. King Louis of the Kingdom of Kav descended from the sky. After Theo's departure, Louis had been scouting the farm from a distance every day. Today, as usual, while checking the farm. What's this? He noticed that the mantises, which had filled the farm to the point of turning it green, were nowhere to be seen. Feeling something was off, he approached the farm and discovered Theo. Pew hut, that's right, meow. Vice Chairman Theo came with Chairman Park, meow. Now, Louis, you don't have to worry, meow. Pio. Pew hut, Theonim's trusty right front paw, Piat, is here too. I'll just go relieve myself for a moment. Piat, still having much to relieve, hurriedly hid behind a small rock to do his business. "Thank you for coming all this way, Chairman Parknim. We are helping each other." In the meantime, Sejun and Louis had a conversation. "Pio, I'm back." As Piot returned, "Please get on my back. I will guide you to the mother tree." Louis offered his back. "Yes, thank you." Thanks to that, Sejun was able to comfortably travel through the sky to the mother tree. "Is it a bit cold?" Of course, the sky was very cold for Sejun, who lacked fur. "Heh, come here, guys." He overcame the cold by stealing the warmth from the furry ones he held in his arms. After arriving in front of the mother tree, well, it was impressive from afar, but its size was overwhelmingly more so up close. "Let's start the treatment." As Sejun collected his thoughts and spoke. "Understood, meow." "Yes." The healers, Theo and Golden Bat, responded, and each used their own abilities to treat the mother tree. The other three animals also had their separate roles. Kurorong, Kaiworong, Kyungi and Iona, who were asleep, were in charge of destruction. Pio Pio. Sejun Nim fighting, Theo Nim fighting. Piot was in charge of cheering. Clicking. Sejun placed his hand on the mother tree to begin the treatment. Farmer's Warm Touch LV7 is activated. The damaged roots of the mother tree are slightly healed while being touched. So the roots are the problem. As Sejun continued to treat the roots of the mother tree, the mother tree, with its roots healed, attempts to move its roots to escape from the entity absorbing its vitality. An entity absorbing its vitality. A message with new information appeared to Sejun. Then, Queek. A massive wave of green approached as mantises swarmed towards the mother tree, and Kyungi just want to get some sleep. Cairo, who woke me up? The two in charge of destruction woke up extremely irritated by their disturbed sleep. Chapter 278. Thanks to all of you, I was never lonely. Deep underground, where the roots of the mother tree are located. Creak crack. The mother tree struggled painfully to free itself from the millions of red tentacles that tightly wound around its roots. But the mother tree's resistance was infinitely weak, already exhausted to its limits. While the mother tree resisted, sizzle sizzle, the hot red tentacles scorched the roots of the mother tree, creating wounds and gulp gulp, sucked the life force through those wounds, supplying it somewhere else. And at the end of these tentacles was a giant red mantis, the queen of mantises, Mantis Queen. The Mantis Queen had long coveted the power of conception that the mother tree possessed. The power of conception is the ability to bring into existence whatever one desires. The fact that the mother tree could give birth to birds from the flowers it blooms was due to this power of conception. Therefore, the Mantis Queen, seeking to obtain the power of conception, used her power of fire to dry up the water on the 79th floor of the tower, waiting for the mother tree to weaken. And as the mother tree weakened, she approached its roots to steal the power of conception. However, the Mantis Queen had been absorbing only the life force of the mother tree for years, unable to obtain the power of conception. The mother tree, even as it was dying, protected the power of conception with its life force, enduring to the last. The recent rapid increase in the number of mantises was due to the Mantis Queen giving birth to many offspring to handle the overflowing life force she absorbed from the mother tree. But this was about to end soon. The moment for which the Mantis Queen had waited for decades was approaching. The life force of the mother tree was nearly depleted. Once the life force was gone, the power of conception that the mother tree desperately protected would become hers. Then, crack, the mother tree, somewhat revitalized by the treatment from Sejun and the animals, began to move its roots. But the roots couldn't budge, entangled tightly by millions of red tentacles. Crunch crack. Instead, the tentacles tightened even more, solidifying their grip in response to the mother tree's roots trying to break free with greater force than usual. However, creak, knowing this might be its last chance to do something, the mother tree moved its roots violently with all its might, and snap! Finally, one of the tentacles wrapping the mother tree's roots broke. Snap, snap. Once the breakthrough was made, more and more tentacles began to break one after another. Queek! Realizing someone was helping the mother tree, the mantis queen became enraged. And then, queek! She ordered all mantises to march towards the mother tree. Queek! Following the mantis queen's command, 1,000,000 mantises quickly marched towards the mother tree, and Kyuyang, Kaiwu, the duo responsible for destruction, flew towards them, emitting a menacing aura. Shortly after, Kaiwo meteorite fall upon the enemy, meteor. Boom! A meteorite fell from the sky, and Kyung. Whoever disturbed Kyungi in his sleep, Kyungi will punish them. Quagwagwang. A giant club of justice swung from right to left. Crack! And 1,000,000 mantises were annihilated. Guard Yona has killed a male mantis. You've gained 500 experience points, 50% of the experience points earned by Guard Yona. Herbalist Kyungi has killed a female mantis. You've gained 2,500 experience points, 50% of the experience points earned by Herbalist Kyungi. You have leveled up. You have acquired 1 bonus stat. You have leveled up. You have acquired 1 bonus stat. Thanks to the tremendous experience gained, Sejun leveled up twice. A quest has been generated. Job quest: gather lots and lots of precious seeds. Use the seed harvesting skill 1,000,000 times. 0100000. Reward: unlock level 71, 10,000,000 tower coins, plus 100 to all stats. Upon reaching level 70, a job quest appeared to advance to level 71. Use the seed harvesting skill 1,000,000 times. This was the 3rd consecutive grind quest following the use of the harvesting skill 100,000 times and planting 10,000,000 seeds. Still, the reward of plus 100 to all stats was very appealing. 1,000,000 times seed harvesting, well, it should be done before I know it. Sejun was moderately motivated upon reading the quest. This level of motivation was just right. If one starts with too much enthusiasm, it tends to wane later on. And now's not the time to be distracted. Click. Farmer's Warm Touch LV7 is activated. The damaged roots of the mother tree are slightly healed while being touched. Sejun placed his hand on the mother tree and began to heal it again. After a while, hum hum hum, as Sejun hummed a tune while healing the mother tree. Thump thump, meow meow meow. Theo naturally needed the mother tree and leaned his bottom against Sejun's leg, humming along. Pip pip, pio pio. Following that, the golden bat and Piat also climbed onto Sejun's shoulders and sang. The golden bat sang a healing song for the mother tree, while Piat sang a song of encouragement for everyone. And Kyung, sleepy. Kaiwo sleepy. After dealing with the mantises, Kyungi and Iona went to their spots to sleep. Kyungi in Sejun's arms, Iona on Theo's tail. Kurorong, Kaiworong. Soon their snoring could be heard. Hum pip kuro yo meow kaiwo pip kaiwo ng. Various sounds combined into pleasant music. The harmonious sounds deeply immersed Sejun and the animals, who sang vigorously without realizing it. While Sejun was focused on healing the mother tree and humming. The mother tree has completely escaped from the entity, absorbing its life force with its roots. A message appeared indicating that the mother tree's roots had completely escaped from something harmful. When Kyungi wakes up, I'll have to tell him and Toriong to deal with whatever's underground. With Kyungi, the digging expert, and Toriong together, they would quickly find the entity tormenting the mother tree. Then, rumble. The ground shook as something began to emerge from the ground. However, Chairman Park, it's dangerous, meow, meow 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 meow. Before it could fully emerge from the ground, it was dealt with by Theo's meow meow storm fist, who, although in charge of healing, also doubled as Sejun's bodyguard. Guard Theo has killed Mantis Queen Itra of Flame. You've gained 50 million points, 50% of the experience points earned by Guard Theo. Of course, because of the job quest, the experience points were not acquired. What a waste! As Sejun felt regret. Pew Hu Hut, Chairman Park, I, Vice Chairman Theo protected you, meow. Theo proudly made a V with his toes. No, that's not it. I've become stronger so I could have won this time. Sejun retorted, feeling somewhat petulant. No, Chairman Park is weak and couldn't win, meow. Theo countered as if he couldn't stand losing. Praise me now, meow. No, that's not it. Yes, it is, meow. As Sejun and Theo bickered. Tower Farmer. Someone called out to Sejun. Huh? Sejun looked around, but couldn't find the entity that had spoken to him. Then, Isarararararrar. Tower Farmer, it's me, the Mother Tree. The Mother Tree spoke to Sejun again, its bare branches trembling. Ah, it is the Mother Tree, how are you feeling? Once they could communicate, Sejun asked if his treatment was working well. Tower Farmer, you may stop treating me now. What, why? It seems like there's still a lot of healing to be done. I have lived the life allotted to me and will soon die. Instead, please take this child. A child? As Sejun wondered. A quest has appeared. Quest, plant the seed of the Mother Tree in your farm and raise it into a mature tree. Reward, recognized as the rightful owner of the land deed. A quest related to the land deed appeared. And Sejun also understood what child the Mother Tree was referring to. While Sejun was checking the quest, a fresh bud that didn't match the bare branches was formed in front of him. The Mother Tree, from which the Mantis Queen had stolen all its life force, was using the last of its life force to bloom the last flower of its life in front of Sejun. Softly, the bud burst open, revealing a white flower with a fist-sized, light green seed inside. The flower bloomed by the Mother Tree was so beautiful that it was impossible to look away, more so than any flower Sejun had seen before. Perhaps it felt even more poignant because Sejun intuitively knew that this beautiful flower would soon wither away. Is this the child you were talking about? Yes. As Sejun was about to pick the light green seed from the flower of the Mother Tree. Mother, led by Prana, the queen of the kingdom of Kav, all the birds of the kingdom of Kav flew towards the Mother Tree. As soon as they saw the march of the mantises, Louis reported to Prana, who then led all the birds to protect the Mother Tree. Is good, there is time to say goodbye. What, Mother, a goodbye? Prana, my daughter, my life will not last much longer. Instead, from this seed, a new Mother Tree will be born to take my place. Mother, Prana, please help the Tower Farmer here, so the tree can grow well. Yes, Mother. After talking to Prana, the Mother Tree said, Tower Farmer, please take care of my remaining children. The Mother Tree once again entrusted Sejun with the seed and the birds it had given birth to. Yes, rest easy. Thank you. The Mother Tree, relieved by Sejun's promise to take care of its children, let go of the life it had sustained for hundreds of years. Plop. Starting with a light green seed falling, the white petals of the flower also fell. Thanks to all of you, I was never lonely. Those were the Mother Tree's last words. The Mother Tree, which had stood alone in one place for a long time, was no longer lonely after it accidentally gained the power of conception and gave birth to birds. Goodbye, Mother. Caw, chirp, coo, pio. Thanks to them, the Mother Tree was able to comfortably end its life, accompanied by the farewell of the numerous birds it had given birth to. Swoosh! As the life force that had been supporting the great weight disappeared, the trees easily collapsed and turned to dust. Sejun Nim, please take care of the Mother Tree's seed. We will conduct the funeral and leave immediately. Prana entrusted Sejun with the seed of the mother tree and started preparing for the funeral. And as Sejun was about to search for the mother tree's seed buried in the dust, Chairman Park, it's here, meow. Before the dust settled, Theo, who had already secured the mother tree's seed, offered it to Sejun. To be precise, he didn't exactly secure it. The seed rolled in front of Theo and he picked it up. And then, take this too, meow. This time, Theo handed over a red bead. What's this, huh, Theo, but why are you like this? Sejun, while receiving the red bead, belatedly noticed that Theo was covered in dust and dirt. Pew hut, I was looking for something nice to give to Chairman Park, that's why, meow. So hurry up and pet me, meow. Theo, with the mother tree's seed and the red bead each in his hands, rushed towards Sejun's face. Hey, Tui. Sejun, caught off guard and getting fur and dust in his mouth, yelled out in annoyance. However, the corners of Sejun's mouth were slightly raised. He didn't like baths, but he knew Theo, who always took good care of his appearance, had gotten dirty for his sake. That made him feel good. Hehe, I'll let it slide this time. Pew hut, Chairman Park is in a good mood, meow. I might as well ask for more, meow. Thus they both looked at each other and smiled brightly. Chapter 279. These are new varieties. Swoosh. Pew hut, Chairman Park, don't stop petting, meow. Theo urged Sejun to keep petting his belly without slowing down even for a bit. And then, got it, are we done now? Pew hut, yes, we're done, meow. Sejun diligently petted Theo's belly without any complaints, following Theo's words. The reason Sejun was pampering Theo like this was because of a red bead that Theo had found covered in dirt. The red bead brought by Theo was left behind by the dying mantis queen. Meow. While Sejun was saying his last goodbye to the mother tree, Theo followed his front paw's attraction pull to dig up the ground on his own and found it. Hehe, this cheeky guy, I'll let it slide because of this. Sejun smiled as he looked at the red bead in his hand. Life Orb. A bead created by Mantis Queen Itra, compressing her life force. It contains a vast amount of life force. You can extract and use as much of the life force within the bead as you want. Usage restriction. Stamina over 500, magic power over 500. Rank S. A bead containing a tremendous amount of life force. The life force within the bead was enough to save Sejun's life more than 10 times. Of course, having life force alone doesn't mean one can live, but Sejun, who was always concerned about survival, felt very good about having a life force power bank. Very much so. Chairman Park, it's time for me to eat churu, meow. Are you hungry? All right. So Sejun was giving Theo everything he wanted, at least until there were no interruptions. Sniff. Kyung. Where is this delicious smell coming from? Kyungi, who was asleep, woke up to the smell of churu. And then, Kyung. Let's eat together, big brother, with Kyungi. Kyungi, the gluttonous king, coveted Theo's churu. I don't want to, meow. This is mine, meow. Kyungi wanna eat too. As the two started to fight. Here, Kyungi, eat this. Sejun scooped up a spoonful of homemade churu for Kyungi with his other hand, naturally ending Theo's pampering session. After eating the churu, let's go to the farm, Toryang. Master, Sejun called Toryang and moved to the farm with the animals. Tower 43rd floor. Let's take a break. What, really? Kim Dong-sik asked if he heard Han Tae-jun correctly, since it was the first time Han Tae-jun had given them a rest time outside of eating and sleeping hours. Yes, we'll take a break and then attack the boss. Okay. The boss of the 43rd floor was the scorching wild boar. Kim Dong-sik thought they had a good chance if Han Tae-jun could shoot magic missiles while he blocked. However, that was just Kim Dong-sik thought. You alone. What? Dong-sik, you will fight the boss alone. Han Tae-jun had a different idea. Thus began Kim Dong-sik's one-on-one battle with the boss. Thud. I won. After 3 hours of fighting, the battle ended in victory for Kim Dong-sik, who fought while eating Sejun's crops. But it wasn't a complete solo fight. At every dangerous moment, Han Tae-jun attracted the boss's attention with magic missiles to help. Huff, huff, huff. Kim Dong-sik, exhausted, approached the red crystal. He wanted to sit and rest, but he was more eager to check the clear rewards quickly. Click. As Kim Dong-sik finally reached and touched the red crystal. You have received 110,000 experience points, 1,000 tower coins, and a wild boar leather shield as the clear reward for the 43rd floor. The waypoint for the 43rd floor has been saved. Moving to the 44th floor. They moved to the 44th floor. And then, who are you, Peng? They were surrounded by the blue-backed penguin tribe. Riding Toryang to the farm. Gororong. Kurorong. Kurorong. Berorong. Pirorong. The animals were taking a deep sleep on Sejun's lap and shoulders. Seed of the tree bearing birds. This is a seed of a tree that produces birds instead of fruits through the power of conception. If the soil where it's planted is not rich in nutrients, it may die. Consuming it grants the power of conception. Shelf life 3 days. Rank SS. Sejun was lost in thought while examining the light green seed, concerned by the description that it could die without sufficient soil nutrients. Moreover, the shelf life was only 3 days. Can it be used on soil too? Sejun thought about using power, abundance, on the soil to enrich it. While Sejun was pondering, Master, we have arrived. Okay, thank you. Toryang had arrived at the farm. Click. Sejun got off the head of Toryang and the animals. Guys, could you wake up for a moment? Meow. Kai what? He only woke up Theo and Iona, in case he needed someone to perform emergency measures should he pass out. Pew Hugh Hut, Chairman Park, what do you need, meow? Kai what, Kai what, Kai what? Sejun Nim, what's the matter? Yeah, just in case. Sejun explained why he woke them up. Then, Chairman Park, Vice Chairman Theo oppose using that power, meow. Don't do it, meow. Theo was immediately opposed to anything that could put Chairman Park in danger. Especially, he disliked anything that could endanger Chairman Park's lap, meow. Kaiwat, Kaiwat, Kaiwat. Perhaps if you use the life orb Vice Chairman Theo brought first when using the power, it could prevent any danger. On the other hand, Iona, like a true wizard, found the best solution given the situation. Do you think that's possible? Kaiwat, Kaiwat, Kaiwat. Yes, I'll assist you. Thanks. As Sejun thanked Iona. No, meow. Theo quickly blocked in front of Iona. Vice Chairman Theo, what do you mean? You're thanking the wrong person, meow. You should be thanking me for bringing the life orb, meow. Ultimately, he meant that Sejun should praise him. I didn't get enough praise earlier, meow. Right, Agu, our Vice Chairman Theo did well. As Sejun patted Theo's bottom. Pew Hut, I know, meow, and not there here, meow. Theo, quickly becoming proud, lay down to show his belly. Got it. This rascal. As Sejun reluctantly petted Theo's belly. Kaiwat, Kaiwat, Kaiwat. Pet, pet. Iona subtly joined Sejun in petting Theo's belly. Kaiwat, Kaiwat, Kaiwat. Vice Chairman Theo, you're cute. TL, winking face. After sufficiently petting Theo's belly. Iona, are you ready? Kaiwat, 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 yes. Iona, positioned above Sejun's head, responded while holding the staff of disaster. The fact that Iona took out the staff of disaster meant she was ready to give her best. One could tell how serious Iona's determination was. However, Iona, don't make a mistake, meow. Theo, clinging to Sejun's leg anxiously, disturbed the concentrating Iona with his noise. Kaiwo, Vice Chairman Theo, please be quiet. Right, Vice Chairman Theo, shut it. Mio, okay, meow. Eventually, after receiving sharp looks from Sejun and Iona, Theo quietly observed. After a while, Kaiwat, Sejun Nim, I'm ready. Once Iona was ready. Abundance. Holding the life orb in his left hand and touching the soil with his right, Sejun used his power. As the power was activated, and Sejun's life force began to rapidly drain through his right hand. By the power of the curse, follow my command and absorb the life force. Life drain. Iona used magic to absorb life force from the life orb and directed it into Sejun's body, replenishing his life force. The farm is affected by power, abundance. The fertility of the farm's soil doubles. Thanks to this, Sejun was able to use the power without risking his life. The life force used just now by the power was 10% of Sejun's own life force. The land was so barren that even after doubling its fertility, not much life force was consumed. Swoosh. Sejun touched the soil with his finger to check its texture. I might have to use the power a few more times. Looking at the dry, crumbly soil, Sejun said. Even though the power had doubled the soil's fertility, it was still barren. Iona, I'm going to do it once more. Kaiwat, yes. Using the power would double the soil's fertility again, so twice as much life force would be needed. Considering the life force contained in the life orb, it seemed like he could use it about 7 times. Abundance. As Sejun used the power again, life force escaped from his right hand and seeped into the ground. The farm is affected by power, abundance. The fertility of the farm's soil doubles. After the second use of the power, the soil became a bit sticky. Iona one more time, abundance. Thus, with Iona's help, when Sejun used the power for the 6th time on the farm's land, the farm is affected by power, abundance. The fertility of the farm's soil doubles. The farm's soil is too fertile to use the power. The message indicated that the farm's soil had reached its peak fertility. Good, this should be enough. After checking the message, Sejun carefully took out the seed of the tree bearing birds. Thump. He made a hole in the ground with his dagger. Swoop. Inserted the seed into the ground along with putting magic power and covered it up. You have planted the seed of the tree bearing birds in soil imbued with magic power. Your job experience has increased slightly. Due to the effect of magic seed sowing LV. 8. The probability of the seed of the tree bearing birds taking root increased. Due to the effect of magic seed sowing LV. 8. The growth speed of the seed of the tree bearing birds accelerates for 24 hours. Due to the effect of magic seed sowing LV. 8. The probability of obtaining a new variety increases by 5 times. Your proficiency of magic seed sowing LV. 8 increases slightly. Due to the effect of proficiency increase LV. 1. Your proficiency in seed sowing LV. 8 increases by an additional 5%. And then, Pika. Why? A shy little sprout broke through the soil. The ample nutrients in the soil seemed to speed up its growth. Oh, it's already sprouting. Sejun sat on the ground and excitedly observed the sprouting birds bearing tree. Then, wide open. Why? As the sprout opened. Kugagung. With a huge vibration. Esayak. The sprouting birds bearing tree began to grow rapidly with a strange shout. That's why it dies without nutrients. As Sejun was being dragged into the sky by the clothes caught on the birds bearing tree. Huh? Sejun's eyes caught sight of a vast land floating in the distance. The land was slowly fading and disappearing. Isn't that the garden that was there before? As Sejun recalled Emilia's garden. Esak. The fully grown birds bearing tree started making strange noises as its branches began to bud. Pop. Between the buds, egg fruits swelled up as if air was being blown into a balloon, and then they opened. Oh. Thanks to that, Sejun's interest quickly shifted to the egg fruits. Pop. He began to diligently pick the egg fruits. Then, Sejun's eyes started to spot egg fruits of different colors scattered around. Yellow, red, green, blue, and a 5th egg fruit with stripes of all 4 colors. Thump thump some thump. These are new varieties. Sejun's heart raced as he intuitively realized that these 5 egg fruits were new varieties. Phew! Plug! After taking a deep breath to calm his heart, Sejun picked the closest red egg fruit. You have harvested an elixir, stamina egg fruit. Your job experience has increased slightly. Your proficiency in harvesting LV7 increases slightly. You have gained 1,000 experience points. Messages appeared with the name of the egg fruit, which he saw for the first time. And then, you have achieved the feat of creating a new variety in the tower. Messages announcing the achievement of creating a new variety appeared. It was a new variety, just as Sejun had expected. Great! Sejun hurriedly began to pick the other colored egg fruits. Inside the 10th tower. Where is this? The great silver dragon, Stella Hisron, regained consciousness. Chapter 280. Indeed, our Kyungi is a filial son. Plug. When Sejun picked the last, 5th new variety, the 4-colored striped egg fruit. You have harvested the elixir, assorted egg fruits. Your job experience has increased slightly. Your proficiency in harvesting LV7 has increased slightly. Your proficiency in harvesting LV7 has been filled and the level increases. You have gained 1,000 experience points. Messages appeared indicating that the proficiency of the harvesting skill had been filled and had reached level 8. You have achieved the feat of creating a new variety in the tower. Following that, messages appeared about harvesting the new variety. I'm tired of this. It seemed that humans truly are creatures of adaptation. Having waited so eagerly for the harvest of new varieties, doing it 5 times in a row made even reading the messages feel tiresome. But it's almost over now. When Sejun said this, you have achieved the feat of creating 15 new varieties in the tower. As a reward for the feat of the great farmer, the prestige of the Black Tower will increase. The prestige exceeds a certain level, and the number of entrances to the Black Tower increases by 1. The number of entrances to the Black Tower has increased from 103 to 104, and the 104th entrance is created in the safest place. Messages appeared about the creation of the Black Tower's 104th entrance, following the 102nd entrance for the 11th new variety, and the 103rd entrance for the 13th new variety. And then, you have secured 15 new varieties. You have overcome the 3rd trial of the 10th tower. Messages finally appeared about overcoming the 3rd trial. Done. When Sejun was happy, the last trial of the 10th tower occurs. The last trial of the 10th tower. The tower farmer must get along well with all dragon tribes. This is because you will need their help when you need extra hands later. Obtain 1 L of dragon blood from each of the 9 dragon tribes to prove your friendship with the dragons. The last trial to prove friendship with the dragons began. Dragon blood. Securing the dragon blood from the black dragon, white dragon, and red dragon was easy. It seemed only necessary to collect the dragon blood from the remaining 6 dragon tribes. Thus, Sejun went back to harvesting egg fruits after receiving the trial. Then, Jiararar. A belly clock rang. Kueha Kyung. Hehe, Daddy Kyungi is hungry. Kyungi's belly clock. Got it, today's menu is boiled egg fruits. Kyung. Good. Kyungi, who liked all of Sejun's cooking, cheered with his front paws raised. But before that, there's something we have to do. What is it? When Sejun asked Kyungi. Kyung. Wash hands. No. Puhut, I Vice Chairman Theo, no meow. We need to start a fire meow. Ding. TL. It's a sound from a show, I don't remember which one, but on wrong answers this sound will play. Meow, that can't be right meow. Pip pip, let me, we need to get down from here. Right, but you're only half right. Then, Kueha Kyung. Haha, Kyungi knows, it's a superhero landing. Kyungi answered with a bright smile. Kyungi will arrive first. Da-da-da-da. Kyungi quickly ran and jumped down to the ground. No. Pew hut, I do superhero landings better, meow. Theo also flew into the air, performing 3 spins with Iona tied to his tail before jumping down. No. And then, Pip Pip, I can do it too, superhero landing. Pio? I don't know what it is, but I'll follow Vice Chairman Theo. The Golden Bat and Piat followed, jumping after him. No. This is 100 meters above the ground, on top of the birds-bearing tree. Shouldn't you be letting me down, you guys? Sejun shouted at the animals that had jumped down. Power, indestructible body, and Kaiser's scales meant he wouldn't die, but that didn't mean it wouldn't hurt. It seemed like it would be extremely painful to jump from this height. Ah, can't be helped. Sejun started to climb down the tree, hanging on tightly. Kyung. Daddy, why haven't you come down yet? Fortunately, when Kyungi noticed that Sejun was taking too long, he used telekinesis to go up and find him climbing down the tree, and they came down together. Inside the 10th tower. Stella Hisron, have you awakened? Stella, who had come to her senses, heard a voice with an incomparable majesty coming from somewhere. Who is it? I am the administrator of the 10th tower. The administrator of the 10th tower, then where is this? Yes, this is the first floor of the 10th tower. Why am I? Gasp. Only then did Stella remember that she had lost consciousness right before she was attacked by Halfas, apostle of destruction. And then, thank you for saving me. She expressed her gratitude to the administrator of the 10th tower who had saved her. Cough, never mind. After all, I needed someone to give tasks to. Tasks? What kind? Since you saved my life, I'll help you with anything. Soon, a being who has passed the trial of the 10th tower will come. Help that being to climb the tower. Yes. But when are they coming? Well, I'm not sure myself. Yes. Stella had to wait for Sejun, without any promise of when he would come. Come on, guys, let's eat. When Sejun called the animals over after preparing the food. Kyung. It looks delicious. Kyungi got excited seeing the boiled egg fruits in the giant pot. Only Kyungi was excited. Chairman Park, where is the grilled fish, meow? Pip Pip, is there no fruit? Theo and the Golden Bat consistently searched for their preferred food, regardless of what Sejun was making. And then, Kaiwat. That's right. To become Vice Chairman Theo's right front paw, you need to eat a lot. Pio. Thank you for the meal. Lona shared a few peanuts from her peanut pouch with Piat. In the end, only Sejun and Kyungi ate the egg fruits. Here, Sejun took out grilled fish and fruits from the void storage for Theo and the Golden Bat. Iona, Piat, each of you take one of these. Kaiwat, thank you. Pio. Thank you, Sejunim. He gave each of them a pouch filled with peanuts. As Sejun took care of the other animals' meals and approached Kyungi, who was eating the boiled egg fruits. Kyung. Haha, it's delicious. Heaps of egg fruit shells were seen next to Kyungi, and the pot was already about half empty. Kyung. Dad, eat the colored ones. Kyungi offered the colored egg fruits to Sejun, sharing the elixirs with him. Oh, thank you. Usually he would eat all the good stuff himself. What's the occasion? Sejun felt uneasy about Kyungi's behavior. Is this one bitter? Tag. Nevertheless, to taste it, he cracked open a red egg fruit on the edge of the pot. He momentarily wanted to play a prank on Kyungi by breaking an egg fruit on Kyungi's head. But, Kyung, is that how we're supposed to break egg fruits? His playfulness quickly faded when he realized that Kyungi was going to take the egg fruit and hit him in the head with it. Thus Sejun, restraining his playfulness for the sake of survival, peeled the egg fruit shell and salted it, put it in his mouth and chewed. Chew. The blandness and nuttiness almost became too plain, but the saltiness grabbed hold and forcefully carried the flavor, enhancing the taste and stimulating the appetite. Still, the dryness of the yolk couldn't be helped, but after much research, Sejun, the unofficial barista of the Black Tower, managed to make a decent cup of coffee. Slurp. Drinking the coffee, he completely overcame the dryness. Gulp. Ah, good. As Sejun swallowed the egg fruits with coffee, making a pleased expression. You have consumed elixir, blue stamina egg fruits. Stamina increases by 4. A message appeared. The yellow, red, green, and blue egg fruits each increased a stat by 4, and the assorted egg fruits increased all stats by 1. And then, understood. Sejun finally realized why Kyungi had offered it to him. The elixir egg fruits tasted no different from the regular egg fruits. Because they tasted the same, Kyungi had offered the elixir to him. It's the taste. Thanks to this, Sejun now clearly understood why Kyungi had been trying to steal his share until now. Kyungi wasn't keen on things that were good for the body. He just wanted to eat what tasted good. The effects of items or such were not important at all. He had completely misunderstood that Kyungi was stealing things because they were good for the body. It was just about stealing tasty things. Indeed, our Kyungi is a filial son. As Sejun was reaching this peculiar conclusion. Kyungi said it's for Dad to eat, but Kyungi want to eat it. Kyungi, who had already eaten all the regular egg fruits, started to contemplate whether to touch the colored egg fruits. Do you want some honey, our Kyungi? Kyung. Yes, please. When offered honey, Kyungi didn't hesitate for a moment to snatch the glass jar Sejun was holding. Kyuiha. Lick lick. The elixir egg fruits were no longer of interest to Kyungi. Yum. Thanks to that, Sejun could comfortably eat the elixir egg fruits. Korean Awakeners Association. Vice Chairman, what should we do? Control all the news and first, find Master and report to him. Yes. Cha Si-hyuk, Han Tae-jun's first disciple and the vice president, quickly ordered his subordinates. Just when Master isn't here. Cha Si-hyuk was overwhelmed due to the sudden appearance of 3 black towers in Korea. If they had only appeared like the previous 2 black towers, it wouldn't have been so chaotic. It would have been enough to control people's access. However, the story completely changed with the appearance of Korea's 4th Black Tower at Wangsimni Station in Seongdong-gu. You have entered a safe area where the beings of disaster cannot enter. This message started appearing to ordinary people and hunters who entered the area connected by a line through the 4 black towers. The area between by the 4 black towers was designated as a safe zone. It was already a surprising event for the world, but the safe zone expanded even more with the appearance of 2 more black towers at Yongsan Park in Yongsan-gu and the Seoul Arts Center in Seochagu. As a result, governments from various countries were requesting meetings with the Korean government. And the Korean government was asking the Korean Awakeners Association to participate in the meetings as advisory members. Vitality. Using the vitality skill intermittently, Sejun ate 59 elixir egg fruits, resulting in an increase of 62 strength, 62 stamina, 58 agility, and 54 magic power. Hehe, today's me has greatly surpassed yesterday's me. As Sejun was happily eating the egg fruits. Pew hut, that was delicious, meow. As expected, Chairman Park's grilled fish is the best, meow. Theo, who had eaten his fill of grilled fish, climbed onto Sejun's lap and sprawled out. Stroke, stroke. Sejun naturally stroked Theo's belly. After a while, Gorarong. Theo quickly fell asleep and Kyuiha. Kyungi busily licked honey, pressing his buttocks against Sejun's hip. And then, Kaiwat. Yona had already found her place on Theo's tail. Nod, nod. The golden bat and Piat were sitting near the fire, dozing off. Such a peaceful atmosphere. But why am I not recognized as the owner of the land? As Sejun looked at the birds-bearing tree, towering high, he felt puzzled. It was because the quest had not been completed. Isn't this a mature tree by now? If this isn't a mature tree, it means this tree will grow even larger in the future. I don't know how long it will take, so I should visit the 99th floor of the tower tomorrow morning. Sejun planned to obtain dragon blood from 3 dragons on the 99th floor in exchange for black beans or samyangju, and to ask for the dragon blood of other dragons in advance. It would probably take time to receive the dragon blood from the other dragons, so it would be better to speak to them sooner. Kyungi, let's sleep. As Sejun said this while holding the dazzling golden bat in Piat. Kyung understood. Having finished eating the honey, Kyungi grew his body to about 5 meters and whoosh! He hugged Sejun, placing him on his belly, and they all fell asleep together. As everyone was asleep, Esek, the birds-bearing tree, moved its branches to create shade for Sejun and the animals. Day 360 of being stranded, another hectic day passed safely.